Yeah, I mean, you definitely helped me appreciate Christianity in a different lens. And it's cool because you went through everything else.
G'day, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Your Mate Tom podcast. In this episode, we have Dakota Wint, or Dakota of Earth, which is the name of his channel. And Dakota, of course, is a very good friend of mine. We've gone through a lot of adventures together. And I think this is like the fifth podcast we've done together. And originally, we were going to interview Tommy Chong. So when you hear us talk about, waiting for Tommy Chong to appear, he never does. There was a bit of a time zone mix up, but it did end up happening anyway. So if you do want to check out our Tommy Chong interview, check out the description box. There's a link over there. And, he didn't show up, but it was all good anyway because we just took advantage and had a nice conversation between myself and Dakota. And of course, if you guys have listened to our previous conversations, we always go down weird rabbit holes. And, this time we talked a lot about our India trip and our wacky adventures, and I even put some footage in there, especially at the end, to give you guys a bit of context. Man, every time I think about our India trip, it's like, man, I can't even believe that happened in reality. And we talked about psychedelics. I think Dakota even mentioned his mushroom experience, and he asked the mushroom to reveal its true form. So yeah, have a listen and see what he says, because it's very, very interesting stuff. And like always, we talk about Christianity, talked about Satanism, the occult, a bit of Hermeticism, weed addiction. Definitely a very interesting conversation, which I'm sure you guys will enjoy. And if you do enjoy it, please feel free to give us a like, subscribe, and go to our iTunes and Spotify, where you can check out the Your Mate Tom podcast. Give us a nice review. And yeah, also, if you want to check out an exclusive podcast with myself and my fiance Yesenia, it's called the Tom and Yesenia Dimension. You can go on patreon.com/yourmatetom, and there is a $5 tier level where you get access to all our episodes. Right now there is 14 episodes out now, but I'm about to upload 2 more. So that's a 16 total episodes of exclusive content. This podcast is completely sponsored by you guys, and especially our patrons. So thank you to the guys on the screen who are our top patrons for making this all happen. Truly appreciate it. And yeah, anyway, that's enough rambling. Enjoy the potty. Peace. What's going on, everybody? We got Dakota here, and we're just waiting for our mate Tommy Chong. We had a chat. When did we talk to him last? Like a few months ago, yeah.
That must have been January, February,
Yeah, time's been weird during this lockdown.
March, I think.
Yeah, hopefully he remembers this time.
Oh yeah, yeah. When went to talk to him, we were like, wouldn't it be funny if he was like super stoned and forgot he had like a podcast scheduled with us, and then the time came, we were like, he's not here yet, and then like 30 minutes went by, an hour went by, we were like, and then he finally pops in and he's like, oh, sorry guys, I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like the most Tommy Chong thing you could have said.
Yeah,
Good,
so good.
good intro. Yeah, I was
Yeah, perfect.
like we were just talking about before. I just watched Up in Smoke because I haven't seen that since high school, and it was like blowing my mind because I really want to ask him about this, because this was made in the late 70s. And could you imagine making a weed movie at that time? Like how that would have affected the pop culture, or what people would have
Yeah,
thought of
it's
him. Like,
interesting.
yeah.
I mean, to think about how cautious we have to be about making weed videos on YouTube, which is just like we're just like people with a camera, with an iPhone in our rooms.
Oh yeah.
To make like a high budget Hollywood film about weed is, yeah, it's interesting, especially in those times.
I got like 2 of my weed videos got age restricted the other day, but they were like about weed addiction, so it wasn't anything to do with smoking weed or anything. But YouTube's like, nah.
I don't get
If,
how they
if you want to quit
determine which.
weed, you gotta be 18 years old or something
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
understand. I don't understand the algorithm and how they determine which videos to flag and which not to flag.
Yeah, but I think just in case, because a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, have you still quit and stuff like that?" I think I've got to stop using the word quit because it's like I'll quit. I'll go into these cycles where like I'll smoke weed for a long time. I'll get to that breaking point where I'm like, "All right, this is way too much. I'm getting too lazy and unmotivated."
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll quit weed, be super motivated. I'm like, "Yes, this is the best." And I'll have like one joint, maybe I don't know, weeks later, months later, however long it is, and then it's like it's so easy to kind of go 100% back in, and that's something that I
Yeah.
really struggle with. And I'm like, it's like I'm trying to have my cake and eat it too, and but I don't want to be so extreme where it's like I either have to smoke weed all the time or nothing at all. Like I really want to have that balance, but I don't know if I have it within me. What do you think?
Yeah, I know. I feel it too. No, I feel it too. Like I did so good at Arcana when I was working at Arcana, the ayahuasca center. There's no one smokes weed. We don't smoke weed there. So it's like I was there for a few months, absolutely no weed. Afterwards, no weed. And then now I'm home and I started smoking a little bit. And it's just like I just love laying in bed and just like eating and drinking smoothies and just being like a little fat ass. And it's yeah, it's so easy to get sucked into it.
I
And I
think a
feel
big,
proud of
yeah.
myself when I'm not when I like take the break. I'm like, oh yeah, man, it's been good. I feel good. My dreams are coming back.
Mm,
I lose my dreams when I smoke a lot.
that's crazy. I get like vivid dreams regardless. That's what's really true. Because I've heard from like 99% of people when they stop smoking weed. I mean, yeah, when they stop smoking weed, they start having dreams again. But I get,
Super vivid ones.
yeah, I get dreams all the time regardless. But obviously, when I quit weed, it's like next level. I'll have more, like, there's more of a chance that I could have like a lucid dream or something that's really, really potent.
Yeah, you know, I feel like people that have really intense dreams have deeper psychic abilities.
Mm.
You're like I feel like people that can really go far out in the dream world are tapped into some deep level of creativity or something.
Do you think those same people would be ultra sensitive to psychedelics?
Yeah, I bet so.
Hmm. Well, because I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't think I have any psychic abilities at all, but I am a dreamer. I have very powerful dreams, and I'm very sensitive to psychedelics.
You know, I don't know what a psychic ability like, what is a real psychic ability? I feel like I'm almost it's just sort of being sensitive to the environment, being
True.
feeling
Right.
feeling sort of what like feeling the vibe of what's going on because I mean you can read people by looking at them. I feel like if you're sort of
Okay.
sensitive enough and especially on psychedelics when you're on psychedelics you can definitely read people and
Yeah, it's
maybe just
interesting.
like this.
Yeah, it is interesting you say that because with the psychic abilities, maybe being more sensitive to people. Because I would say I'm very quite sensitive. I can read people.
Yeah.
Like if someone has like is a bit off or having a down mood, I can like feel it immediately. Or even if I'm watching a movie and then someone next to me is not paying attention, it takes me out of the movie.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I hate it's like
If
stop
someone's
moving.
like
Pay attention. If you're gonna watch the
yeah.
movie, can you please immerse yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Or
like
like
a
on their
tyrant.
phone or
If you're gonna
something.
watch a movie with me, you better watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It
Or
cuts
when
me
you
when
want to like
people
you
fall
want to
asleep.
show someone a movie and you're so excited to show them and they're just not as interested to watch it. It's like, fuck.
And I
It's a
was just
movie,
like,
it's a masterpiece.
got a left tear running down your cheek. It's okay. It's okay.
Did
Yeah.
you see that movie? It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. What's it called? I'm No Longer Here.
I'm no
I think
longer
this was called.
here. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm No Longer Here. It's it's about like this Mexican street gang that loves Colombian cumbia
Huh.
and it's kind of like an artsy film a little bit, but this you know like someone gets killed and the kid has to run away and it's a really good movie. He
Wow.
comes to America, he escapes to America and he like lives in this guy's above some guy's shop like a above like a liquor store and like he doesn't speak no English. It's a really good you'd like it.
Okay. Well, it's a Netflix movie.
Yes.
So I'm assuming
I'm
it
no
came
longer
out
here.
quite recently.
Yeah, just last year, I think,
Huh.
2020.
Uh,
I think it won some awards or something.
I'll send him the thing just in case.
Yeah.
Because he said he got it and he joined. So, but I don't know. Hey John,
You don't see his name on the side?
here's the link just in case. Like it said he joined like through the email like hours ago. Like he joined the meeting before I started it. I don't know. Here's the link just in case. Boom. Done.
Boom.
And he pops up in a puff of smoke. A wild Tommy Chong appears. Hey man. Hey, what's going on? Nah, he's really cool. I really like Tommy. Has like a really humble heart.
I like your YouTube play button. You got like the new school one.
Oh yes.
The whole silver plaque.
Yeah.
I just got just the silver play button and a normal plaque
Oh yeah, because you reached
just
100,000
behind the
like
glass.
ages ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
What are you like? Almost half a mil now.
Yeah, almost
Con-
500,000.
Congratulations. Quite a milestone. It's a lot of
Slow.
people. Every time I think
It's a lot
about
of
how many
people that think.
people watch my stuff, it just gives me like an existential crisis. It's like, nah, it's too much. I can't think of
Yeah,
this.
it's weird.
Like to really think about it, it's not like looking at a number like, oh yeah, 10,000 views. And sometimes you'll even look at 10,000. It's like, oh man, my video only got 10,000 views. I have this many
Yeah.
subscribers. And you look at it as like a bad thing. But then when you look at the reality of it, it's 10,000 people looking at your video. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
It's very
I
weird.
wonder like, what do you think like the average amount of a television show gets? Like just like a normal television show.
Oh man, I would imagine that
Like
it'd
a
be much less now than what it was pre
yeah.
YouTube. And
Like
it'll
I
depend what
wonder
show, like what, like something like Game of Thrones or something.
no, just like a normal daytime TV show. That's
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what's on TV anymore. Like Pawn Stars or something like that.
Hmm. I would have no idea,
I
man.
wonder like if it's like six o'clock, 10,000 people, 100,000 people.
They would have to have their business model like really tight with
Yeah.
sponsorships and I don't know. I don't even know. It can't even be affiliate links because you're watching it on TV.
Yeah, well, I think it works the same way YouTube works. Like those the commercials pay for the slots,
Yeah, yeah.
and based on how many viewers you get is how much the that slot is worth.
I'm
I
surprised people
think.
still watch TV, man.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Like watching ads and like you have to follow their schedule of when you can watch what particular show. Nah.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
like on one hand, it was like it's not that it was too bad. Like once you remember it, it's just going back after opening Pandora's box. It's really difficult. But maybe we're too comfortable now because like you can just binge watch a show in like a day instead of actually waiting one episode a week. You know.
Yeah, but I prefer having like the option to just be like an uncontrollable freak.
And the commercials in between. I remember watching like Dragon Ball Z back in the day and have to watch one episode per or 5 days a week. And it'll take you
Yeah,
like
right.
2 years to get through the entire saga. And now you can just like smash it out.
It's been 84 years.
And Anime Lab. Yeah, we've been watching Avatar yesterday. That was pretty good. The
Last
cartoon.
Airbender. A lot of people love that show.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's like
But it's got
it's like an
deep
anime, but
concepts in it,
it's
right?
American. It's really weird but cool.
It's American produced.
Yeah, it's completely American, but it looks like an anime. And it's even based in like Asian countries. They even have Asian. A lot of people have like Asian accents.
Interesting.
I know I'm overgeneralizing with Asian. I just don't. I'm not that much of an expert to pinpoint exactly. I see he has a Northern Mongolian accent. No, this person's got more of a
Yeah,
North
it's weird because even
Vietnamese.
Russia is Asian, right?
Yeah, technically it is. They got that look. I'm pretty good at pinning down Asian accents. Like
Are you? You can tell a difference between a Chinese and a Korean accent.
yes, and I'm not going to do it now instead of getting. I don't want to get cancelled. I was about to do it. Nah. Yeah, I can tell. Like Japanese, like is really easy. It's good.
What's it? What are the differences?
And then Chinese is more. Oh, no, Vietnamese is more like you go to the shop and go to the good. You know, got that kind of thing going.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and then Chinese. Nah, I don't know. I can't do Chinese. I can tell though if I hear it, and I can tell by the complexity of their skin. Because I grew up in
Okay.
Australia, so we, dude, especially in Melbourne, with it's
Yeah,
more
I mean
Asians here than
Australia is kind of
Australians.
Asian, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're Asian,
I'm pretty
technically.
sure. Oh, the continent, yeah, because it's like Pacific, Eurasia, or no. Uh, I'm pretty sure it's part of that, and we're really close to all the
Interesting.
Asian countries, like the Indonesia, Thailand.
Yeah, just like super close to Bali, right? Just like an hour flight or something.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure China owns like almost or more than 50% of Australia in terms of
China
land
owns
and
everything.
properties, and yeah, they own
Yeah.
everything.
I've been seeing that they're buying everything in Africa too.
Man, they got that. Where did they get all that money from?
America, somehow, probably.
America. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta brush up on my Chinese history.
I've been saving money for an Africa trip.
Ethiopia, right?
Yeah, I go to Ethiopia, to Kenya, to what's it called? Tanzania?
Tanzania.
To Tanzania and then Uganda.
That
So I'm
picture that you
thinking.
sent me of the that old school, that ancient Bible that they found in Ethiopia. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Wow.
Yeah. Super cool. You know the oldest church is in Ethiopia, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because they're like Orthodox, aren't they? I'm pretty
Super.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
And it's
it's
so cool
very
to see,
interesting.
like so you would be able to see like those ancient texts and how they actually haven't changed over time. It's like
Yeah, how they haven't changed.
it's that's what always blew my mind because I always assumed that the Bible's just been fucked with since the beginning and it's always like kind of changing. But when I did my own research, I realized that it hasn't been changed. It's been translated in different languages, but that's not changing the essence of what it is. You know what I mean? Like some languages might have different semantics, but I think the essence is pretty much the same. Or
Yeah.
maybe we should just learn Hebrew and learn and actually read the like OG Bible. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, that'd be interesting to especially to go see what like I wonder if it's written in Hebrew, the one in Ethiopia.
Yeah, I wonder. Because I think the language that like Hebrew uses is like it's very symbolic because the way that
Really?
the English language is, I think it's phonetic. So the way that our English language is created, it kind of influences our thinking and how we perceive the world. So it's very kind of like specific. It's not like we don't have like English. The English language doesn't have like a holistic kind of symbolic
Right.
language, like let's say Hebrew or something like that. So then when we read the Bible from a 21st Western lens, it doesn't make as much sense. You know?
I mean, would you
Because
come if you can come if
hey,
stuff starts opening back up? Would that be a thing you're interested, adventure you're interested in?
dude, I'm of course
Go do like
I'm always up for an
there's
adventure.
something else. There's like it's called like the Don Kali Depression or something like that. Doni Kali Depression, where it's like the hottest place on Earth, and it looks like a mad scientist had an experiment and it went wrong and took over the environment.
Wow.
The neon green ground and stuff. It's like this crazy place, and you
Where's
can
this?
hike up. This is in Ethiopia.
Whoa.
You can hike up to this volcano and sleep on top of the volcano at night. So it'd be like it's like remember like what we did in India by Pakistan when we slept outside on the thing with the beds outside. It'd
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, but on top of a volcano.
Wow.
Yeah,
That'd be sick, man.
yeah. I've been like just doing research on interesting places to go and saving some money.
Oh man, that'd be sick.
If stuff opens up, you should come. We'll do a whole Christian pilgrimage. We'll go to all these like far out rural churches in the middle of nowhere and
Yeah,
go like
that'd be really
meditate
cool.
with some
I've been
meditate with
wanting
some Ethiopian
I would also love.
briars.
I'd love to go to like the Middle East. I've never been there. Go to like Jerusalem and all
Yeah.
those holy grounds. I know
I
that's a
don't know
lot of
if they'll let
chaos.
me in. I'm nervous about going
Is there only
because
one
of all my
country?
Palestine videos.
Ah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like, especially right now, I don't feel like they'd let me in. I'd have to wait for it to cool down. They'd search
Hmm.
my name. I had so many of these pro Palestinian Instagram pages posting my videos from Palestine that I feel like I just know that they got my name on a list somewhere. The Israeli
Ah,
military does. But you have
oof.
to go. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
despite
yeah, yeah. I'll go because like I know the stories a little bit more now, so I'll be able to be like, oh, cool. This is the place where
and
this
go
happened,
to
and
Palestine too. Go into Palestine.
yeah. What do they?
Go see where
What do
Jesus
they
was
speak?
born.
Aramaic?
English and Arabic, I think.
Ah, okay. Is Arabic different to Aramaic? Because I heard that
Um,
Aramaic is the spoken language that Jesus used.
like
That was
Chaldean or
his
something.
that was his day-to-day language. It was Aramaic.
Aramaic. Yeah, no, I don't know if people speak Aramaic anymore, do they?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm starting to think that it's like an older language that isn't as
Let's see,
alive
I'll pull it
today.
up.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Aramaic is still spoken by a scattered communities of Jews, Mandaeans, and some Christians. Small groups of people still speak Aramaic in different parts of the Middle East between 500,000 and 850,000.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
that
used to
would
have an
be
ex-girlfriend
mind blowing.
That spoke Aramaic, I think.
Oh, really?
She spoke Chaldean,
And
which I think is a form of Aramaic.
how was that relationship?
It was like my first girlfriend for like 6 years. I think we were together. We were like
Wow.
high school sweethearts.
Well, that's a long time.
Yeah, Chaldean is Neo-Aramaic. Yeah, she moved away.
Ah, that's
It
heartbreaking.
was one of those like the Notebook type stories. I don't know if you ever seen that movie.
Mm,
The girl moves
fortunately,
away.
yes. Mm. Actually, it wasn't too bad.
Yep, one of those. But yeah,
Yeah.
she spoke Aramaic. She spoke like a newer version of it. Because I remember the Passion of the Christ, whatever language they speak in that, she could speak that language.
Oh, so in the Passion of the Christ was that like an Arabic?
It's Aramaic.
Okay, okay. Definitely not
Aramaic
Latin.
that way. No, I don't think so.
No, no, no. Because Latin was imposed later, I think. Yeah, so
Mel
it's
Gibson's a
hard. Yeah, go ahead.
badass, a badass director. Mel Gibson is.
Oh man, he's incredible. Because because I remember watching Passion of the Christ when I was a kid. I was like, okay, whatever. Like it was pretty messed up. I remember it sticking in my mind. But then I rewatched it like in the past 6 months, and it's like actually like it's genuinely a really well made movie. Like the cinematography, the writing, the acting, it
Yeah,
really
everything
puts
about
you
it.
in there, man. It's like wow, it's really powerful. It's not an easy movie to watch.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Did I ever tell you? I don't know if you remember Fernanda from Arcana.
Yeah, I remember.
That she's Mel Gibson's neighbor in Costa Rica. He owns like a big house down the street from there.
What? Seriously?
Yep. And her ex boyfriend, Fernanda's ex boyfriend, was in construction in that area. Like he would build all the stuff in that area, and he built like a bunch of stuff for Mel Gibson's house. Apparently, in Mel Gibson's room, he has a big painting of himself in the room, a big portrait of himself in his own room.
Wow.
She said the house is super badass, though.
That's crazy. Is he still doing movies and stuff? Because I remember he fell off the map for a while because he cracked it at his
You remember
ex-wife
when
or
South
something.
Park did the thing where he like stole the school bus and
Yeah. Like, torture me. Yes. Twist my nipples. I can take it. Shove it up my ass. Go on. He's like, has that, is obsessed with torture and stuff.
let's see reports. Mel Gibson engaged. He's getting engaged.
Takes a big crap, sprays shit on Cartman's face.
How did they get away with that show? I don't understand.
I don't know. I feel like even sometimes they try to get cancelled. Like, because I was watching one of the later seasons, and at the end of the episode, it said like hashtag cancel South Park. Like they wrote that stuff, and even they got banned in China. They did a whole thing on China. I was like, wow. I feel like they're the only show that really goes to those places, like completely
Yeah,
fearless.
like the Muhammad thing.
If it wasn't for Comedy Central, like, stomping their foot down, they would have definitely have put him in there, not censored. But then
Wasn't it just like a
they
guy,
always talk
a guy
about
in a
the
costume?
they always get confused though, because it's like, but I don't get it, because on season 5 we did an episode on the Super Best Friends and we drew
Yeah, I
Muhammad,
remember that. Mm-hmm.
and that still plays. So why is it such a big deal now? I think because probably after that episode, some cartoonist or something got beheaded in public, something like that. So they were just scared.
Yeah, something like that. I think no, I think those guys they went into to the cartoonist place, like the newsroom where the cartoonists were, and shot it all up, killed all of them. In France, I think it was.
That's interesting. I never got that. Why
Yeah, yeah,
can't
it's
you?
crazy, crazy.
Why can't you draw him?
I don't think they don't. No one knows what he looks like. I don't think. So it's like blasphemous to say that you know what he looks like.
Hmm. Interesting. Because even in the Quran, it's not like Muhammad was divine or God or anything like that. He was a prophet, a well-regarded prophet
Yep.
in
Yeah.
their worldview,
Yep.
but he wasn't like he didn't have a divine nature. So like I'm saying, like if he was like proclaimed himself to be God, then I could understand, like, yeah, don't draw this, you shouldn't draw the face of God or something.
Right.
I'm just trying to understand like why, the reason behind it, the logic
Yeah, I
behind
don't
it.
really understand his position in the story.
I know he was like a warmonger. He was ruthless.
Was he?
Yeah,
I heard people say that. I hear like a lot of criticisms are like he was a warmongering pedophile and he had like a 12-year-old wife or something.
yeah, he did. Yeah, it was normal back then, but he had like he had a lot of wives, sex slaves, and stuff like that. And it's not like putting him down for doing that, because it was back in the day. But if you're going to be a religious prophet, I think the standard should be
Yeah.
a little bit higher. That's all I'm saying. A good example,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is interesting, very interesting religion. How it's almost like the Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's like all starts from the same origin, but then
Yeah, it's like a comic book. It's like it's all the same universe, but different comic books.
yeah. From my understanding, I was like Judaism and Christianity is like canon, and then the Quran will be like maybe kind of like a fan fiction or something like that, because they change things, they change certain things, whereas like if you look at the New Testament, it perfectly reflects the Old Testament in every way. So it's like a cohesive one cohesive book that makes sense.
Hmm.
And then the Quran comes along and says, oh yeah, Jesus didn't die on the cross, or he didn't get crucified. So it's like, oh, you're already taking like one of the most important things of the Bible and just saying, oh yeah, nah, that didn't happen.
And that's because Muhammad said that.
Yes.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
And do Christians and Muslims and Jews get along?
I think real Christians, Jews, and Muslims get along. Yes.
Yeah.
Like if you're a true Christian, or if you're a true Muslim, or if you're a true Jew,
Obviously, the
and
Jews
you
and the
have,
Muslims they fight,
yeah, true. No, but if you got
but
peace, if you
you
got
don't really
peace in
hear
your
too much
heart,
about.
I don't
Yeah, of
see how,
course.
you know what I mean? Like even if there's a lot of beliefs that I don't agree with, but if you're a good person and you're honest, I'm still going to respect you. I might have a conversation with you and to tell you why you might be wrong, but I'm not gonna hate on you. Like I just
Yeah.
I don't understand that aspect of it, because you got to have compassion, and people are born in different situations, and it's not easy. And especially like in Islamic countries, for example, like if you become a Christian, you're dead. You're
Really?
discommunicated with your family. Yeah, man, it's like really serious stuff. So that's why when a Muslim kind of has that kind of Christ moment, becomes a Christian, it's like a really big deal. It's like
Yeah,
opposite of confirmation bias. It's like you have every reason not to do it, So it's and apostates get like a lot of crap and death threats. Because I've been watching like, I'm subscribed to a few Muslim channels, some like fundamental Muslims and some who are like apostates, what they call them. So people who left the faith.
What's that mean? Like
people who leave the faith. No, it's
okay.
people who leave the faith and then speak against it. And the amount of like death threats they get is like insane.
Yeah, I mean, I know I have you ever heard of like the concept of behind the sun?
No, explain
I don't know much about it. Maybe someone in the comments can explain it for us, but like if you leave Islam or like do something to betray your family, they send you behind the sun. I had like my Muslim friend trying to explain this to me, and like you just get blacklisted from everything. And they told me it's a physical place. Like they send you to a physical place.
Is it like an abyss or something?
Full of darkness? I don't know. I like in my head, I remember when she was telling me this.
It's still hot though, right?
I was like, so they send you somewhere? She's like, yeah, they physically send like you and the rest of the people that have been disowned all go and live in this one place. And I think where was it at? It must have been like Syria or something, or Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And what'd she say? She like as she was explaining it to me, I just imagine it as like the prison that Batman went to down the well.
Yeah.
That's what behind the sun seems like, right? Like that kind of place.
Behind the sun. That sounds like a very interesting concept.
It sounds scary, right?
I'd love to learn more about that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go there.
Yeah, you don't want to go. You don't want to go behind the sun.
I don't think any. Yeah, man. Some of those afterlife concepts are like so terrifying, man. Like if you go to the bad place,
nothing's popping up. So I don't know if I'm just making this up.
I was thinking maybe I'm sure this is a completely heretical idea, and I'm not actually serious about it, but just to play along, just to entertain a thought. But maybe what happened if hell is what samsara is, what the Buddhists call samsara. And so instead of transcending this place and going kind of that next phase, heaven, whatever you want to call it, you got to come back again. Because I just I don't understand the burning in hell for eternity, like forever. I mean, is there no redemption? Surely there would have to be. Or is it just that you come back to earth and that's a kind of sort of hell? Maybe you kind of get dealt a bit of a worse hand, like sort of a karmic sort of thing.
Yeah, Alan Watts once explained hell as being kind of like the animalistic realm of behavior, where you're totally captivated by your desires, your attachments, one point of focus, and that's like this focus of instinctual behavior where you're I don't know, I picture like being out in the woods or something, like a rabbit's behavior. It's either food, sex, or survive. And to me, this is a sort of hellish perspective, I feel like. And then the more heavenly realms are when you begin to have self-awareness and self-reflection and can transcend like those lower aspects. That's more of like a heavenly. I think they're all places. They're all describing mental places.
But I don't know. But those mental places could as well be kind of physical manifestations of a higher principle.
I guess you could say this world is a physical manifestation of a mental space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we all believe in immaterial principles, Mathematics, that's an immaterial, like you can't prove it, but it's something that works. So we just kind of take it for granted. And there's, I don't know about the lower, like, being prey to lower carnal animal self is hell, because then wouldn't that mean that all animals would be in hell?
Yeah, they're in a form of hell. I think Alan Watts, and again, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he said that like the hellish realm, I think he said the Buddhists describe it as a ghost with a big belly and little mouth, where it's got this unquenchable hunger. It's always hungry, but it has a little mouth, so it can never eat enough. And he said this is like how the imagery of hell in one Buddhist philosophy.
Mm. I think that's why
The
in a lot
hungry
of
comes.
religious traditions, even in Christianity, that's why fasting is so important, especially in Orthodoxy, because again, it's changed over time to the point where fasting only becomes like you can't eat red meat on this one particular Friday for a whole year. But in Orthodoxy, it's actually every few weeks. It's like a schedule. You do some proper fasting. But they say that that's very important because you need to. That helps control your carnal desires and doesn't make you so much of a
Mhm.
slave to them. So it's like denying yourself that satisfaction
Yeah. I mean,
and becoming
Ramadan is
closer
a
to
whole
God.
month, right?
Yeah. No, but they eat like they pig out afterwards. So it's kind of
At
like
night.
not to put it down Ramadan, but it's like I feel like I could do Ramadan every day. Like it's not that hard to
Right.
fast all day and then pig out at night. Because you can eat like crazy all night, like serious amounts. So you're not really
Yeah.
like you are fasting, but it's like it's an intermittent fasting,
Right.
but not like a proper fasting.
Who else? I mean, Jewish people do like they do some stuff. Shabbat.
Yeah, what Shabbat?
I don't
Ah, yeah, and then what? Yeah,
something
Shabbat. Then
something
there's
with
Lent,
food.
and then Ramadan. But we all know,
And
we
the
all have
Jewish
that.
people also do.
We all have that intuitive knowing that fasting, and it's like fasting somehow just brings you closer to God, in a sense. Like if you do it with intention and pray during it. I wonder why.
Have you ever done it?
I do like intermittent fasting, but not proper like
Yeah.
24 to 48 hours. No, no, no.
Like it would be cool to do a vision quest. These guys in
Yes.
Sonora, this Surrey that work with the toad now, they do vision quest where they fast and go off into a cave for like 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
And they say they explain, like they have a psychedelic experience, a whole vision quest. It'd be cool to try something like that.
I would like to do a walkabout, which is the Aboriginal initiation where you just go out in the bush for a week or whatever it is and survive. Go on. If you come back, you pass the test. If you don't, well, see you in the next life. It'd be pretty crazy though,
I
man,
guess
because
it'd
like
be all right.
Australian nature is very harsh, super harsh. Like the plants, the
Yeah, it would be
animals, like
hard.
it's the heat.
I would just stay in one spot.
Yeah.
I just climb a tree and just stay there.
Well, 'cause you wouldn't want to waste too much energy, especially if you're trying to survive. And what would you do? Like you eat fruit, maybe some bush tucker, hunt a kangaroo on the way.
Is fruit easy to find?
Yeah, berries, like
Berries.
berry fruit, or what we call bush tucker or plums. But those are the kind of fruits we have. Not, but if you go like up north in Queensland, they've got mangoes growing in just like everyone's backyard. So you can just walk down the street and just pluck a mango from
Nice.
anywhere.
That's heaven.
Yeah,
That's probably
it
what heaven is.
yeah, everything's just big and huge, and everything's sweet and humid, and tropical. Yeah, I'd love to go
Yeah. I need some mangoes right now, but there ain't no mangoes here.
there. have you heard of Uluru or Ayers Rock, like that big rock in the middle of Australia?
I think you told me about it. Maybe is it a sacred rock?
Yes.
I think so. I think I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, I was gonna head out there, but we've been in lockdown, so I can't leave Melbourne quite yet. But we're gonna go at the end of this month. Northern Territory. So that is the state where, like, when foreigners think of Australia, with the crocodiles and the kangaroos and
Yeah.
the most extreme situations possible, that's this. And I've never been, so it's gonna be interesting. I haven't got a new drone, so I'm excited to fly that.
Nice. Which one did you go for?
The Air 2S.
Nice.
It's the newer one. Apparently,
How
you
is
need.
it?
Oh, it's so good. It's like really crisp. Uh, it's just awesome. It's like kind of top tier video quality, but it's really quiet as well. and it's not too big. Nah, it's really good. I can't wait to fly Northern Territory, like over crocodiles. That's what I want to get.
Oh yeah, you can get so many incredible shots. I was thinking of that in Africa too, like bringing a drone to Africa,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
getting
I'll bring it along.
raft.
I'll bring it along for
Yeah,
sure. I'll see what their rules are, because I think if like here in Australia, if you have a drone that's over 250 grams, you got to register it and get like a drone license or something like that. So
yeah, they
technically,
have drone
I've
license
been
here too.
so I've been flying this very naughtily.
Yeah, yeah, I got the one that's under that one. I think the Air Mini,
Ah, nice. Yep,
Maverick
yep,
Air
yep.
Mini, or something.
I think
And
that's
it's
what
still
my
pretty
mate has.
badass.
Yeah, no, they're all
Yeah,
good. I think this one just has like this one has a cool AI system, so you can like put in the air and then you can drag yourself or a mountain or any object, and then it can you can choose certain patterns, like if you want to circle it around or active track. So
right,
it's like you got a AI cameraman sort of thing. So if you wanted
right.
to record yourself, you can.
That's cool. Or have it follow you on a bike or something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or like along a mountain ridge or something like that. That's the shot that I want to get when I can leave this city. I can't wait.
Yeah, drones are fun. I got stitches from a drone once.
Where?
Cut my finger open all the way to the bone.
Oh, damn.
So I had this drone, like the original DJI, and I crashed it. There was something wrong with it. Like they sent me a broken one for sure because I could never get it to work properly. And it flew into a tree, and just all the blades of like the helicopter part, they all got cut up, so they were really sharp. And I never changed them. And I was flying it
Um,
again, and it went crazy and started flying towards me, and I swatted at it, and one of the broken
oh,
sharp blades just dug into my finger. And it sprayed blood all over my face.
oh.
Like a
It's like
Yeah, I looked cool.
it's like a Kill
Really
Bill
having trouble.
scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a Kill Bill scene for sure. And it was snowing out, so I
I've cut my
put my
finger
hand in the
once.
snow. Oh,
So
dude, it's horrible. Oh, I hate thinking about it. It's a big
yeah,
scar
I think that's one of the reasons why you need a license. Maybe I don't know. Like if you
they're
fly it near
dangerous.
people,
People fly
yeah,
them in their house and stuff. I'm like, man, you guys are crazy.
yeah, people don't. Not many people fly drones as much as I would think, because the drone technology has been around for what 10 years probably,
Wow, yeah.
consumer wise. And I would have thought that these days you'd see drones everywhere, like people just constantly flying drones, but it's like so rare. I don't think
Yeah,
I've ever
I've
seen
seen a
someone
video
fly a drone.
of Amazon delivering with drones. I wonder if that'll be a possibility.
Hmm, that'd be cool.
Nah, people will be throwing shit at it.
I'd be
You just
afraid to
rob
fly
it.
my drone far away because, like, technically this one can go 12 kilometers, but after
No, I don't like it. I don't
after a
like
couple
going
kilometers, it's like, oh nah, I just
because how
get
do you
worried.
see it?
Well, you can't. Well, it depends where you are, of course, but like if you're on top of a mountain, for example, then you'd have much better chance of seeing it. But even
Right,
then,
but
like
how do you see?
12 kilometers away, could you really see a little
Yeah,
drone?
no. So if it had like, say it went 4 kilometers away, does it still get signal so you can see like what it's seeing?
That's what where it depends because I've flown it from like my house. I flew about 3 kilometers away before it started to lose signal. But I think because it was all interference, trees, buildings, probably other electromagnetic
Right,
interference. But I think if you do it on top of a mountain, then you probably could go at least 10 kilometers.
and it would work the whole way without it.
Again, theoretically, I'll
Oh.
confirm with you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I get it back. Or just go in a straight line. So even if you lose connection, all you have to do is just go backwards until you see the drone again. It's scary, man, because sometimes when you have that like lose signal thing, it's
It's
like,
super
man,
scary.
I paid
It
$2,000 for
starts
this.
moving by itself.
It's scary. It's expensive. Drones aren't cheap, man. Or even
Nope,
worse,
I crashed mine.
when you've got when you got like a memory card of like all this awesome footage,
Yeah, no, can't lose all the footage.
not the
Like I
footage.
always, when I get worried about getting robbed in different countries, I'm like, you can take everything. You can take the camera, just leave the SD card.
Yeah. Can never get that again. I know.
Yeah.
So you still
You still have
rocking?
India videos to edit, don't you?
Yeah. I want to. I gotta get someone to help me like edit and stuff.
Yeah,
So I still got that the Hash Village one.
that's the one. That's like the best one.
Yeah, I know, I know. I think part of me's been like, I don't know, kind of, what's the word? Discouraged, I guess, from YouTube, like everything to do with weed.
Yeah.
I just like I, I spent so much time like on a video and then it's just like boom, demonetized and age restricted. But I guess it doesn't matter. You just have to make a banger video, something that you know does well, I guess. A hash village in India, I think that's pretty clickable.
Yeah, I mean Malana too, just in general, that tag Malana, people search Malana a lot. I miss India.
Which part the most?
Do you ever think about it?
I like the
Uh,
northern part. I really liked.
with the mountains.
Yeah. I
It's so different, right? Every
speaking
part
of,
is a different world.
I saw Jamie the other week.
You saw him like in Australia?
Yeah, he came over my house.
I thought he is he in Australia right now?
Yeah, he's in Melbourne.
Oh. How was that?
Yeah, it was really good. Same old, talking about spirituality, religion, life.
Do you get into any good Christian conversations?
Yeah, for sure. Because he was really deep into it when we traveled India, and that was when I wasn't into it. Like I've always like appreciated and loved Jesus and appreciated Christian virtues and stuff like that. But if you asked me any serious question about Christianity, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I didn't
Yeah.
even understand really the Holy Trinity. But yeah, so talking to him now, after everything that I've learned, it's definitely been a much fruitful conversation. That's interesting stuff. It's like a lot of stuff that we've been talking about even in India.
It'd be cool to like go do the Christian pilgrimages in India. Go
That
see
would be
like
cool.
the place where they say Jesus' body is at. They claim Jesus is buried in India somewhere in Kashmir. They
Huh.
got a tomb for him and stuff.
I'll check it out. Very heretical claim.
Yeah, it's probably definitely not real, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I
just
wouldn't believe it, but I would go there. It'd be interesting
yeah,
for just like, this is what you believe. Interesting. Like,
yeah. Just like
wow,
anthropological
that's
curiosity.
crazy. Well, because the body disappeared. That's the thing, right? Because he was buried in
Yeah.
a tomb, and then Mary Magdalene walked in the tomb, and all the clothes were like folded up like really neatly.
Hmm.
That he was gone, but then he appeared physically to a lot of
And
people,
we
and I
don't
like.
know where that tomb was.
Uh, I don't know. Do we? I'm not sure. Like I'm not very good with like my geography, my Bible geography. But
Well, I think there's I don't know. I don't know for sure. The tomb of the Holy Sepulchre, I think that's where the tomb of Jesus is at, but
okay,
I don't know if that's like
probably is the
I don't know
tomb,
what it looked
right?
like 2,000 years ago. Because when I went, it's just like a tomb that they built inside of a church.
Hmm.
Like it's not on a mountain or anything.
And I like I relate with Thomas, one of the disciples, because he's like the skeptic, and when Jesus came back, he was like, I don't know, let me touch your wound to see if it's real. And then he was like, all right, and he took his hand and he put it in where the Roman stabbed him with the spear on his stomach, and he actually put his hand inside. It's like, oh, okay. Even when he walked on water, everyone saw it and was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then Thomas was like, I don't know.
Oh shit.
I'm going to swim there. I'm going to touch you. And he did. That's just so funny. Because, of course, you're going to have like people just, a lot of people think that like skeptics are like a new thing, like now we have a scientific, rational mind. It's like, that's always
Right.
been around.
Yeah, he's cool. Why they take the Gospel of Thomas out of the Bible?
uh, because it was written way too long after the the
Okay.
events, because it was like 200 years, and it didn't make sense.
And how long? Most of them
But there were
are
a lot
all
of
written after
commonalities.
Jesus, right?
There's a lot of commonality. Like if you read the Gospel of Thomas, that was actually the first gospel I read. Right, that's uh, how much I wasn't, I guess, into Christianity. But there's a lot of commonalities between the sayings of what Thomas wrote down and what Jesus said in like Matthew, John, Luke, Peter. But then there are certain other things that are like completely contradict everything. So it's like, I don't know,
Right.
it's weird. It's more of a Gnostic. Because I
So
think,
like the church doesn't really recognize it as being a legitimate gospel.
yeah, and I can see it because I went, I thought it was like suppressed. I'm like, oh, maybe that's the true gospel, and it just got suppressed. But
Right.
when you go deeper into it, you understand why. It was just written way too long afterwards, so it's like, I don't know. And there are just
Right.
like I said, some things that just contradict everything else in the Bible. So that'd have been a crazy book to put together, man. And like so I was like, yeah, just reading these eyewitness accounts. Like it was such a powerful event that the whole world bases their calendar after the death of Christ. Like when you really, I think we just take it for granted. Like, oh yeah, it's the year 2021, but it's pretty insane. Like for an event to be that powerful, that the whole world, doesn't matter what you believe in, subscribes to the same. Yep, this is this
Yeah, I don't know
year
how they
after this
got the
guy
whole world
died.
to do that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, there's because I think in the first 1,000 years, the church was like one. And then after 1,000 years, that's when they had the schism. And that's when Roman Catholicism did their own thing. And I think that one of the biggest disagreements was that Roman Catholicism believed that the Pope's word is infallible. So anything that he says is the word of God. And of course, over time, this means that you can change dogma over time. And there's
That means
nothing
the
wrong with
Pope must
changing
know
it.
it's all bullshit, right?
There's nothing wrong with changing over time, but you have to understand that principles are principles for a reason. It stays the same, right? So if they're
Yeah.
really laws, like 1+1=2 has always been true and will always equal true. It's not like, oh, but if you look at it on a certain perspective, maybe 1+1=3. So that's what's
Right.
kind of happened with the gospel, and then Protestant Christianity and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and then Orthodoxy is like, nah, I don't believe that the Pope is infallible. He's a human. And so I kind of agree with that kind of thinking. Like, yeah, he's a human.
Yeah, of
Then it'll be
course.
so easy to change
Imagine like
shit.
him growing up talking shit with his friends and stuff. That's like the word of God.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
the shit he was talking when he was a kid.
yeah, exactly.
Fart jokes and
It's like really everything. And then it there's a lot of like sort of a dark occultist kind of vibe to behind Catholicism.
yeah, for
There's
sure.
some satanic pagan stuff going on there. So when people say like, oh, Christianity is a pagan cult, blah blah blah, maybe they're just looking at the patterns in Catholicism now or something. Or they'll say like some ridiculous theories is like, oh, Jesus was actually a metaphor for the sun, like the actual sun, and it was like a pagan worship of the sun. But then this whole theory, if you think about it, is only based on the English interpretation, because the word sun and sun are completely different words in like every different language. It's only in English where sun and sun sounds the same.
I think it's based around Christmas, right? Ain't that they think like that Christmas was a stolen pagan holiday, and that the birth of Jesus is actually a symbolic pagan
Yep.
representation of the solstice.
I think yeah, that's one of the like
That's
an
probably true, right?
astrology. That he was a metaphor and it was a worship of the sun.
No, that Christmas is probably some stolen pagan
Oh
holiday.
yes, definitely. And that's they have even different dates with Chris. Like Orthodox Christmas is January 7th, and then Catholic is 25th. And it's I think they took a lot of pagan stuff because they wanted to influence them. They
Yeah,
wanted
they
to
wanted to
make their
convert them.
conversion easier. So like, all right,
Right.
we'll take some of your pagan stuff, but
Yeah.
not the
So I
bad.
mean,
Not
why else be
yeah, just not
putting pine trees in our house?
yeah. Just not
Super
idol
pagan.
worship. Idol worship. That's like really, really against. I think all these religions.
And that means like what? Like having a big Buddha statue or something
It's more
and worshiping it.
well because the statue of Buddha is like it's just a piece of wood, right, or whatever it's
Mhm.
made of, marble or whatever. So if you just have a Buddha statue, that's not idolatry. It's if you're worshiping the deity behind that physical structure. You know what I mean? Especially deities that you
And
don't know,
that's
like
not
Thor.
doing
Like if
that
you're
with
if you're
Jesus.
worshiping and praying to Thor, that would be idol worship.
Right.
Oh, your camera died.
Oh shit. Fuck. One sec.
Technical difficulties. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. What were we talking about? idol worship, I think.
Yeah, the idol worship.
It's more about serving unknown principles. Because when a lot of, if you look in history, a lot of people who worship these gods, they don't really understand really where they're coming from. And I think that's why a lot of societies end up, if you even look at like the Aztecs, for example, like they were doing idol worship and praying to some mushroom deity. And then to the point where at the start it would have been probably prosperous, like, yeah, this is really good, this is really good. But then the true intentions kind of came out, and then they're chopping people's heads off. That's like an extreme example, but I can't.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
hard to
curious.
ignore. You know what I mean? Because you can't just be like, "Oh, that's just one culture." It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of those kind of cultures that did that.
I mean, definitely. How do you learn a god? How do you learn to trust a god or not?
Exactly. So, and there's different answers to this. I think in Christianity they would say that that's why he revealed himself and
Right.
used humans to write the word of God. So it's like, this is actually who I am and what I believe, and these are my principles. If you follow this, things are going to go very well, sort of thing. Whereas like, I think we talked about it last time, like I think even like the mushroom, for example, it's still very unknown because the mushroom never wrote an official book. I know that mushroom physically can't write a book, but it is an entity. I'm sure it could easily just get a few, apostles to write. All right, you listening? Write this down. Chapter 1 or whatever. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting if there was something like that. Yeah, there's a satanic Bible too. Mushroom. I don't know if you've read that one.
I have it right here next to me, actually.
And the pillar, so is the top pillar of Satanism, do what thou wilt, right?
Yeah.
That there's your will is basically God. You choose what's right and wrong.
Yeah, let's see what it says. I got it right here.
Yes, read from the old. So would you call it the bad book? Because you know how they call it the good book?
Please open the pages
of
the bad book.
So Satanism is just like a knee-jerk reaction against Christianity, eh? To me, it's just
right here. This says Satanism represents kindness to those who deserve it instead of love wasted on ingrates. You cannot love everyone. It is ridiculous to think you can. If you love everyone and everything, you lose your natural powers of selection and wind up being a pretty poor judge of character and quality. If anything is used too freely, it loses its true meaning. Therefore, the Satanist believes you should love strongly and completely to those who deserve your love, but never turn the other cheek to your enemy.
Ooh. So if your enemy does something to you, it's your duty to fuck them up. I mean, I would have agreed with that in high school. I'm like, yeah, I'll turn another cheek.
This was a gift, and this is a note from the person that gave it to me.
Oh, wow.
You said on your Twitter that you wanted satanic gifts. So what's more satanic than the Satanic Bible? Hope you enjoy it.
Was that written by Anton LaVey?
Yeah, Anton LaVey, this guy here.
I wrote a thing. He basically called New Age all satanic. He's like, all New Age practices is just Satanism without using his infernal name. He said that.
Yeah, I don't trust this guy. He doesn't know anything. He was like a theater kid, like an edgy theater kid.
Probably some daddy issues or something. Trying to get back, trying to get back at his Christian dad. It always is. I feel like Satanism is always, 100% of them probably have daddy issues, right? Because why would you? Because Satanism to me is like, it's not a unique thing. It's just taking Christianity and it's inverting it. Because why would you call it Satanism? Yeah, exactly. So it's like, why don't you just do your own? If it was really like its own unique thing, I would be like, okay, yeah, cool, I respect it. But it's just,
interesting. I like the idea that Satan and God are actually friends, and that Satan isn't like some evil dictator or character that's like haunting you, trying to make you do bad things. But that it's just like the character and the role of the universe that sees the bad side of things. Like with Job,
Yeah.
Like in the story of Job, he's just like, I don't know, God. I think Job is not that good of a guy, actually. And God then puts Job through all this crazy stuff, gives him like boils or what, it burns his skin or loses his house, all kinds of
Mm,
stuff.
I remember that. South
But
Park did
that
an
that kind
episode
of
on
makes
that.
it seem like God and Satan are kind of homies in that story. And I
Mm.
prefer that perspective where they're just kind of two friends just playing The Sims.
Yeah. Or it really is a war.
Or it could really be a war.
It's
Does
like
the
that.
Bible say
It's like
that?
that thing. The the greatest trick that the devil ever pulled was to convince the world he's not real. And so, and you can see that in society, like those who don't even believe in evil or God or spirituality. It's like it's no consequence to them. So it's much easier to
Right.
kind of sin and do bad. Uh,
Sorry, my antivirus has
oh,
expired.
good. Antivirus. Well, because I don't know. It's like it's because I remember I was really struggling with the concept of evil for a long time, and I thought I was like, oh, maybe it is like an independent force or something, like it has its own life. And then the way I understand it now is that evil isn't a thing in and of itself. It's like because creation is inherently good, and evil is a privation of good. So it's not like the yin and yang where good has bad in it and bad has good in it. It's like good is good in and of itself and can live without itself. It can live without evil, but evil cannot live without leeching of what is good. So it's like a virus or a cancer or something like that.
Right.
You wouldn't, like, if a virus or cancer came into your body, you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, it's yin and yang, just surrender to it. I'm
Right.
going to integrate this. It's like, no, you're going to have
Good
to
needs
fight it.
nothing else to exist.
You want to remove that shit as much as possible. But evil can
Right.
only leech of what is good. It's like that's what a virus, like a virus can't exist on its own. It needs a host in his life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of made a lot more sense, especially just looking at the analogies of the world, just things
Yeah,
like
that's an
that.
interesting way to look at it. Yeah, so good is like an inherent essence of creation,
Yes. So
and bad
humans are
be,
inherently good,
yeah, that's interesting.
and bad is a privation. So, and maybe I don't know where Satan falls into this. Like, if is he just like that next step above the principle of evil,
He's the
or
leech, right?
hey,
He's the leech.
yeah, well, because even if you think about Satan, who's like the most evil figure in mythology, I would say he was originally an angel.
Yeah,
He was originally good.
angel of music, right?
Yeah, so it's even in the story, which I find very, very fascinating.
But does the Bible say that he's evil?
Yes, I think they call him the evil one in part some of the things, some of the gospels, and he
But
wants
does
to
it mean evil in the sense of like killing
he,
babies evil, or is it evil in the sense of like
killing
he
babies
revolted
evil.
he revolted he
I don't mean to
revolted
laugh at
from
killing
God?
babies. It just caught me off guard. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Say it again.
Like it could be evil to take psychedelics, or it could be evil to do something that's not accepted within the context of the church. So which evil is it? Is he evil in the sense that he wanted free will by his own authority, or is he evil in the sense that he's just like out looking for blood?
I think that because from what I understand, is that Lucifer hates humanity, and so he will
Oh,
use your own carnal pleasures to bring you down. It's like that kind of
bastard.
voice, like, just eat the cookie, just do it, fuck it, who cares, dude? It's one. You're gonna die anyway. What's one cookie? Yeah,
It's
I feel
true
like
though.
that. I think it's a lot more because people look at it as really insidious, and I think on a fundamental part, it probably is that evil, like killing babies, evil. But I think it starts very lukewarm.
Starts with the cookies
Yeah, it starts with the cookies, exactly. You know,
and
but I don't.
killing
I
kids.
wouldn't say eating cookies is evil. Like that seems a bit too
No,
extreme, but it
it's being
leads there.
tempted.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it leads there.
it leads. At least, yeah, eating cookies leads to eating babies, kids. Your mate Tom, 2021.
I mean, I'm sure it has once in the universe. It's probably happened.
Yeah, maybe.
So, did Tommy ever he respond yet in the emails?
No, I didn't. I wrote maybe he'll join in any second now. Maybe it was like, I don't know. He thought it was 1 hour later.
Let me
So I could have slept in. Nah, it's good to get up early, I guess.
yeah,
And
it's
that
good.
mask behind you is creepy as hell, man. It's like
I know.
a baboon witch doctor. It's like
It's a traditional Romanian.
it looks like the love child of that witch from Snow White and the baboon from Lion King.
You ever heard of the Hadza?
Nah.
It's a tribe in Tanzania, and they eat baboons. This guy I know on YouTube, I don't know him too well, but I know him a little bit. He has a YouTube channel called Far and Fearless, or Fearless and Far, and he was just in Africa and was baboon hunting with these guys.
Wow.
Yeah,
Baboon hunting. That seems pretty.
and these guys,
I don't know if I could
this
kill a
Hadza
baboon.
tribe can speak baboon. They know the noises to make.
That'd be cool to document.
Yeah,
Hunting
so we should go there
baboons.
too.
The vegans won't be too happy with that.
Oh, people will be so. That's like the most anti-vegan thing you can possibly do is go hunt baboons.
Yeah. I know. Or it's like, or hunting kangaroos. I'm sure that would be very taboo. Hunting in general, or just eating animals. Yeah, I don't know. That looks like a very interesting mask though. Do you wear that for
Yeah,
Halloween?
so it's from Romania. I got it in Transylvania, and apparently it's meant to scare off bad spirits. Yeah, it's scary.
Gnarly.
Haunted relic. Check this out.
Whoa.
This is
That's ayahuasca jaguar.
a peyote jaguar.
Oh.
That's peyote right there in the leg. These are all individual beads, one by one beads.
Interesting. Peyote shamans. I was talking to a fellow and he said there was a psychonaut who wrote a book about the history of peyote. And he said that there were like two main kind of tribes of one who did peyote in their ceremonies and one who didn't do any of that stuff. And then the people who didn't said that the society that ended up doing peyote all the time ended up dissolving family structures and stuff like that, which I found interesting. It's written from a psychonaut guy.
It's interesting.
I don't know. I don't know.
They're an interesting culture, those guys.
Yeah.
Wiradikas.
And it's not like, oh, they did peyote and then their families fell apart. It was those who centered their entire society around peyote rituals. But I don't know. I've got to read it myself and see what's going on there.
Yeah, they're cool. They're called the Wiradikas. I don't know too much about the history of peyote, but the Wiradikas, I think, were like the guardians of peyote. So the Lakotas and Navajos or any like the other tribes that were doing peyote, they would have to go and ask the Wiradikas for permission to adopt it into their tradition.
How long have they been doing it for? A long while, I would imagine.
Yeah, a long time. Let's see.
At least 1,000 years.
Let's see how long.
Do you like peyote?
Yeah, I like peyote. This says 5,500 years ago.
Wow. Man. That goes way back. And do you feel?
I don't know if I wouldn't.
That peyote has like its spirit, I guess.
Oh yeah,
like its own personality. Like all these plants do. Like I believe
sure.
that they're definitely attached to
peyote's got that same thing going on.
Similar to San Pedro.
Peyote's got that for sure. No, more intense than San Pedro. It's more like LSD.
Wow.
Yeah, it's way more intense than San Pedro.
Yeah.
It was cool though. Yeah, I like the culture of the peyote culture the most, like the tribe that uses it today, the Wiraricas. I like just being around what they got going on. Like it's super colorful
Mm,
and they're always playing music and always making art. So like the areas that they're in Mexico are really fun to just hang out and people watch in.
like they do it around the fire and stuff like that.
Like this
That's what I
here too.
like. Nice. Because I did a peyote ceremony here in Australia.
Yeah, I remember you
It was like
saying
yeah,
that.
it was a small dose and it was mixed with like chocolate. But I like the tradition, I like sitting around a fire during the
Yeah,
daytime.
sitting around the
I
fire is cool.
I like that kind of vibe. I'm over I don't like the ayahuasca vibe anymore. It's like it's too like the darkness
But like,
and going into the jungle and drinking this
yeah.
toxic sludge.
Oh, this is rough, man.
I can't do it,
So
man.
rough.
I'm done. I feel like I could go the rest of my life without doing ayahuasca.
Yeah,
But I've done it a lot though, to be fair.
I mean, you can just do mushrooms. I feel like it's the same. I mean, I guess like no, I don't know. They are different for sure. Ayahuasca's good if you need it. Like if you're really really like on your last resort and you need something to
Yeah.
like clean you out, just go crazy and do the whole pilgrimage to the jungle, all that stuff's cool. But I feel
Yeah.
like if you're just like an explorer, mushrooms are enough.
Yeah, and that's something that I came to conclusion. Like it helped me when I really needed it as a medicine, and I was in a kind of a pit where I was like, man, I don't know what to do. I got to do
Yeah.
something in my life. And in that aspect, yeah, for sure, it helped. But I feel like after you're healed and you're good, I feel like you taking ayahuasca is almost like insinuating that, because a medicine insinuates that someone's sick who takes it. So I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if I want to play with that when I'm good. Like my mental health is top notch. I'm happy. I really don't. Yeah, I just don't need it, I
Too
guess.
much. Yeah, it's too much. I can confirm it's too much to do it all the time.
And especially if you do
But
it
I
all, and
did
especially if you
mushrooms.
do it all the time, because there is
I did mushrooms at an
yeah.
ayahuasca ceremony.
You did
That's fun.
mushrooms at an ayahuasca ceremony. Okay.
Yeah, that's fun.
Like just you?
That's real
Like
fun.
did everyone take ayahuasca and you're like,
Everyone
can
else
I
was on
take mushrooms?
ayahuasca. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I snuck some mushrooms.
Oh,
And yeah, it was amazing. The Icaros were amazing. Everything was amazing.
was it
Incredible.
similar, but was it like ayahuasca but just better?
Yeah.
Like more euphoric, you're not as
More
nauseous.
euphoric.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as nauseous. Super a lot of energy. I was just like
What about
really
visuals? More or less?
super visuals. Yeah,
Yeah.
super visuals. Yeah.
I found mushrooms the
The
other
thing
day, yesterday.
I love them. I love
I didn't pick
mushrooms.
them though. This is the first time that like I saw like probably 30 mushrooms. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Oh,
But
you just
nice to
saw
see
them.
you. Nice to see you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, good to see you guys. Yeah. No, this is the ceremony I was talking to you about where I said the mushroom told me it was a deity.
yeah.
I was on ayahuasca. The mushroom
That
said,
was
I
the
am a
one.
deity. I'm a deity. I'm here to control the environments of this planet. I dictate who lives and who dies. And one day I'm gonna eat you and everyone you love. That's what the mushroom just told me as I was just sitting in the ceremony. I was like, fuck.
If you had to put an image to it, what would it look like?
It was a giant slug looking thing with huge sharp teeth and there was like saliva dripping off the teeth and it was really really scary. I don't know if you remember the TV show or movie Tremors.
No, I've seen
It looked
Stranger
like a
Things.
tremor.
Does it look like that?
Tremor sci-fi. Yeah, it looked like a tremor. If people watching on YouTube, Google Tremor sci-fi. It's an old movie, and that's what the mushroom looked like to me. And it
Wow.
was saying, "I'm gonna eat you."
I'll search it right
Yeah, it
now,
was
just
scary.
just so I can have a visual. Tremor, Tremor.
Yeah, sci-fi.
Tremors. Ah, yep. Okay, I see a
Tremor.
teeth-looking thing as a.
Yep, that's
Oh,
what it looked like to me. It was explaining that it was gonna eat me. It had like this slug body with like teeth and a crazy mouth like
What?
that.
Kevin Bacon's in it. Footloose. Na, 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 na,
Yeah, and it
na.
was just, I don't know, super interesting, just showing how it controls the environment. And it told me even the plants bow to me because they know their fate is the same, that it's just going to be digested in my stomach one day.
Wow. Because fungus is kind of that intermediary point between the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. Because it's not a plant,
Yeah, they're like,
but it's not an animal, but genetically it's closer to an animal. So it's like it's really bizarre.
it's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's a deity.
Yeah.
It really is a deity of this planet. It controls half the planet.
Oh, yeah. He just messaged back, said, "What time and day did you have this go?" This was for
Today, an hour and
one.
a half ago.
Yeah, this was for 1 hour ago. Uh, yeah, because I saw like 1 in the morning. It said Tommy Chong joined the Zoom meeting or something,
What time would have that been?
or like 3 o'clock in the morning for me. Uh,
That'd have been
I
like
guess
noon. This time, I think.
yeah, yeah, mid noon, 8 p.m.
One sec, I'm gonna hit
16.
my bong in honor of Tommy Chong.
Go for it. 16th of June.
How will you do this podcast? You just keep this hour, or you split it up into a whole different podcast, or
I guess so. I thought we were just going to speak for like 10 minutes.
yeah, the same thing that happened with mine too. I had to go back and like, because you don't want it to like, oh, I got a podcast with Tommy Chong. We have to watch an hour and a half first before you get to it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because I that's not like what Tom Segura does and stuff. I'm like, just put the guest on. Do your
Yeah,
intro. I don't mind the intros, but I don't want
short
to go.
intro.
I don't want to go an hour and a half into the guest. Yeah, we can do two separate ones. Yeah, but that the mushroom deity thing, man, that's crazy. Because I've had a
I
similar
believe
sort
it.
of experience. I couldn't say it was like it was a slug thing with teeth, but it definitely had that sort of a tentacle monster sludgy vibe to it.
Yeah. No,
Like,
it told me straight up. Like it told me with such confidence.
how do you interpret that?
I feel like it's probably true. It was showing me how there are different cosmic positions that each being has a cosmic role. Humans, ants, everything, as above, so below. Everything has a cosmic role, and it was showing me like how this reflection. It's so hard to explain. Kind of like the Pink Floyd album, how it's got like the thing reflecting and the rainbow.
Yep,
It was
yep.
showing me how
The prism.
it was showing me how this I guess consciousness was just being reflected into all these different things, and each thing had its own version of that consciousness. And the mushroom was saying that its role was to be the intelligence that dictates the environment. And I was like,
Mm.
so what do I call you? Because I learned from these magic texts, like this Aleister Crowley book I have right here next to me, or some of these other books I have here. If you learn the name of a spirit, you can call on the spirit and you can gain its powers through learning its name. That's what a sigil is, actually. A sigil is the signature of a spirit. So if you do
Mm.
these sigils and you do these geometry, it's invoking the spirit through it. It's calling the spirit through its signature. So if you can learn the name of these spirits, you can call on them. So I was like, okay, what do I call you? And it told me, you can call me the one that chooses. And
The
then
one
it
that
explained,
chooses.
and I was
Whoa.
like, what does that mean? And then it showed me how it chooses who lives and who dies. Which I mean, I don't fully understand it, but it was saying like, it's just like it's intelligent and it's in control and it's the architect of the forest
Whoa.
and it's
Whoa.
gonna eat everything. It's gonna eat us one day. Definitely gonna eat us one day.
I've had trips where I've felt like I've been eaten alive, like a human
We're
sacrifice
gonna
sort
be
of thing.
eaten by the mushrooms.
Jesus. Because like when we decompose on the earth, sort of
Yeah,
thing, or
yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
a movie monster
When
kind of
we,
deal.
so no, when we
It's just fucking
giant mushroom just
that's
pops out of the ground.
killing
No,
everyone.
yeah, like no, when we die, the mushroom is gonna eat us when we're dead in the ground. And I remember I said, "What does that mean? Like, what does that like? Are you a demon talking to me right now? What does that mean?" And it told me, what it means is that we are eternal friends.
Hmm.
Oh my God, what the fuck is this mushroom trip I'm having right now?
It's such an enigma, man. It's hard.
What's an enigma? Isn't that like
It's like a
something you put up
mystery.
your?
It's a what the hell is
Oh,
this?
I was thinking of an enema.
It's an enigma.
Oh yeah, that's such an
Unknown.
enema.
It's unknown. Yeah. Unknown. Because I don't the problem with like let's say empiricism, which is kind of basing truth of your own direct experience, is that the interpretation of what you experience can be so different from person to person. It could be to the
Hmm.
point where two people experience exactly the same thing and then they come out of it
Right.
completely different
Yeah.
worldviews,
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
you know? And so then what do we do to find a more cohesive truth? And I guess that's what patterns are, right? They're objective patterns that repeat in time always. And
But
it
even those patterns aren't necessarily objective. It's just that they are more quick to spot. Because I'm sure if we could be completely objective, everything would be a pattern, even the things that seem unpatternless.
mm, which insinuates that this is a there's intelligence behind this
Oh,
universe.
for
There
sure,
there is
without a
an
doubt.
for sure there's an objective truth and an objective reality, a kind of a grounding that sustains, that not only created life but kind of it sustains us.
I mean, I don't,
That's
I,
what I believe
it's
anyway.
crazy. It's crazy because I say, like, right now, I can say with confidence, like, without a doubt, like, we're a part of some kind of mysterious divine, something that's mysterious and divine. And, like, when I was in high school, I would have been so confident saying the absolute opposite. Like, no, this is totally just mundane, material, temporary BS. And we just somehow woke up in the middle of it,
Mm,
meaningless. I've went through both. I've felt both confidently in my life so far.
yes, that's the thing, like we live in a very kind of dialectic society where we choose like what it's either this or it's that, right? You're the material scientist where all that exists is matter. All that it is meaningless, raw sensory data and chemicals. And then you got the spiritual absolutist, which is like, nah, matter, it's all an illusion. This whole thing, it's not even real. It's
Yeah.
all about the spiritual principles. And I guess what I liked about like
Yeah.
orthodoxy is that they reconcile these worlds, because if you think about heaven, which is actually, it's not like that. I'm sure it probably maybe even is an afterlife as well, but the heaven that I'm talking about, it symbolizes abstract principles or immaterial principles, if you want to call it that way. And then earth is raw, meaningless data. And then humans are the mediators between. So in other words, so we inform matter with meaning and we express meaning through matter. And it's always both. That's the thing. You can't separate
We
life
form
itself from
matter
truth.
with meaning, and we express meaning through matter.
Mm-hmm. So we lower heaven and we raise earth. That's when we get all these profound truths, but it's not a truth until you have concrete examples,
Yeah.
until you have it here, until you can touch it. That's why we call it real. This is reality. Oh, back to reality. Like we say it within
Right.
our own language. So it's both. And I think that truth should line up with all aspects of reality, instead of like looking at only this kind of the abstract world and then completely ignoring the physical world, or vice versa. Because
Oh,
everything
wow.
on
Yeah.
earth, everything on this universe reflects kind of a higher metaphysical truth. That's what
Was it
that's
Aleister Crowley that said "as above, so below"?
that's a hermeticist principle. So I'm sure he
Okay,
did
but
say
that,
that because he was an occultist. And hermetic principle, and that's, I got really deep into hermetic principles. So I could actually
yeah,
go through all the laws. But yeah, that's the second principle, the law of correspondence, as above, so below. The macrocosm is a reflection of the microcosm, vice versa.
That's a really trippy thing about reality, is that it's reflected on every dimension. The same thing.
Yeah, every scale of life, all scales of reality, it should reflect. So if you come to a spiritual truth, but then it makes absolutely no coherent sense in the physical realm, then it's probably not a truth, you know?
Right.
Or you're missing certain, because sometimes we might learn a principle, let's say like a mathematical formula, and then it might take us like 100 years to actually be able to tangibly use it, you know? It's like,
Right.
oh, okay, yeah, now we know how to do it, you know?
Right.
And maths is all about, it's all using logic. Like you can't empirically prove a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's like with the whole Higgs boson, the machine, what's that machine called? That whole thing was because we knew that there was another particle through our equations. There has to be another particle. We can see it here in the math, but we can't physically find it. So they built this machine to shoot particles at each other, to particle collider, to try to determine what happens when these particles collide. There must be another particle that's even smaller, right? Because they hit and it must turn into something else. And yeah, they discovered it with the machine. So we knew it was there. We couldn't prove it because we didn't have the technology to prove it until we did.
But we understood the logic behind it. It's like, no, this is true. Yeah. And so yeah, because I think early in my spiritual journey, I kind of direct experience was like my God, I guess. Like that was like my number one unit of measurement to find out what truth is. But then that's when you down the line you realize, yeah, but man, we're so fallible that you can get fooled. You know, something can feel so real, and it can turn out to be totally wrong. And this doesn't mean that you can't directly experience truth, but it has to align with everything else. Otherwise, then in this, you know, you have the ultra spiritualist type who's basically, it's like they're schizoid. They cut off their head and they just float in the clouds and they leave their body behind because it's not real. None of this is real.
But it's crazy that like that it is kind of real, and that like we share that experience with each other, that we're both in the same experience.
For sure.
Like that you are just like a guy that's in life. I'm just a guys in life. We have our little laptops and our little worlds, and like we're both just in it, and we have no everyone, and no one has any clue. No one has any
Baseline
clue
reality. And I feel like intuitively we know that there's a higher spiritual reality. I think that's why a lot of us go into spirituality. But I guess, yeah, it's more about trying to harmonize this physical reality, but with the higher truths, you know.
I mean, it's just crazy even just to look at the sky. Like to look at all the stars and stuff. It's just so insane to just be like, what in the fuck?
I know.
How the hell? How in the hell?
And it's huge. And the point in history that we're at, man, I feel like something big's gonna happen. I don't know what.
Like what?
I don't know. Alien invasion or something. Like something just bonkers. But I don't know if it'll be real or if it's gonna be like a government.
You look into that
thing.
You look into the fake alien invasion, Project Bluebeam?
No, I haven't seen it.
You never heard nothing about it?
All I've heard is from a lot of like conspiracy theorists, I guess, on YouTube who believe that they're going to do a worldwide invasion so that we can become a one world government or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called Project Bluebeam.
Huh. Oh, hang on. He's messaged back. We really have the time zone off here. It is 4:15 now. We need to reschedule and have the right day and time zones.
Tommy Chong. He is stoned from his bong. Missed the time. He is late for an
because he said 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, that is an hour and a half ago.
Yeah. So,
I mean, he has no excuse. He was late with me too.
Okay. So, I just wanted to make it clear I didn't mess up, right?
No.
Okay.
This is
because I made sure. I even searched it, and I was like, just really make sure. All right, it's this time.
Yeah.
I even woke up like nervous today, like, oh, I'm gonna interview. You know, do you ever get like anxiety before like a big
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah. Yeah. Always. Every
Yeah,
time.
me too. Me too.
But not when I'm in this position. Like when I'm here as like the guest, I don't get that feeling.
Yeah, yeah, me too. That's why I enjoyed being your guest. I'm like, oh, this is easy. I
Yeah.
just get to
Yeah. I like that.
relax,
It's
chill, and
easy.
I don't have to prepare. You know.
You just kind of you just say something whenever
Yeah,
it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
up.
But it's cool. I like doing it with you, especially like before it starts. You know. It didn't end up happening today, but we'll do it. We'll do it next time. I think we went through some pretty interesting routes.
Yeah, I was hoping he was gonna jump in so we could throw it right on him.
I know. We'll continue with that. Maybe this is a preparation for next time. Because
Yeah,
I
I
want to
mean,
talk to him about weed addiction. I don't feel like a lot of people
yeah,
ask him
that's
about that.
interesting. That's interesting. I've heard cigarettes is harder to quit.
Nope.
I've heard cigarettes is one of the hardest.
I used to smoke for 10 years. And I can tell you right now, weed's harder. Because it gets you
Really?
high. Well, yeah, because cigarettes like it's nice. You get that satisfaction. And it's like, yeah, cool, cool. But compared to weed, man, weed's like, oh,
Weed's the
yes.
best.
It's like so good. It's the best, exactly. So it's like there's no comparison. So I would say that weed is, yeah, way more addictive than, but it's not like I'm putting like addictive, like it's an inherent property within weed. Of course, it's depends on each human being. Because one person could have one joint, have a
Humans
fucking
are addicted.
schizophrenic episode, and then get turned off weed forever. So to that person, it would be like anti-addictive. But to
Yeah.
me, and because I've been smoking for a long time, I don't want to use that as an excuse, but the the marijuana teeth have their hooks are more deepened in my brain, I guess.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I've,
if you were to
yeah,
use it like once or twice, 3, 4 times a month with intention, I feel like it could be a very shamanic experience.
yes, and I've tried that. I think that that's the kind of excuse I give myself when I smoke weed again after quitting for a while. I'm like, all right,
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it with intention. But then it doesn't
Yeah, yeah,
last
me
long, and
too.
then you end up just smoking weed and watching South Park or just something like that,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And then you're just back. I like nature though.
Yeah.
That's
Boy, Tana, dude.
my favorite place to smoke weed is in nature, like on a mountain or something.
It's the best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
like I
best.
remember us being in Casol with Jamie when we climbed up after walking across that bridge with the river and smoking up there. Like that moment right there. That's a good moment.
Yeah, being in the
Besides all that trash
elements.
that's in India. But
Yeah, it's all about being out in nature. I love it.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Especially mountains. There's something so spiritual about mountains, you know. I proposed to my girlfriend or my fiance now on a mountain. I love mountains. Make her
Where
work
at? Was
for
it a
it.
special mountain? Or was it like
It's called
something significant?
It's called Cathedral Range. Uh, I don't know if it's significant, but it's the best mountain I've been to in this state. It's like one
But
of
did you
those.
guys have like a memory there, or was there some reason that you
No,
chose that
this is the
spot?
first time that I've ever. She's never been there before, so it was her first time. I went there a few weeks or a few months prior with my mate, and it was so incredible. I was so amazed, and it was really one of those special, like in my top 5 nature places in the world for sure. I will take you there when you come here for sure.
Okay,
And
cool.
it's amazing, man. And when we went there with my girlfriend, my fiance, I we had the whole mountain to ourselves, man. So imagine going through like this hour hike. You're at the top,
And the whole
and
time
it's
you guys were walking, you knew you were going to propose to her?
yep, yep.
And what were you thinking on the way up?
I was like, oh shit, we're doing this. And then she was saying really sweet, like, oh, I love you so much. And like just like being super sweet. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Awesome. This is it's a good time to do it. And it was like at the top of the mountain. Uh we like sat on the rock and it was like as we hit the top, it was like sunset was it was just the sun was just setting or it was beautiful. It was like, oh man, so majestic, man. And then yeah, I kind of was sitting down on the rock and then I just kind of dropped the ring in her hand and then she bawled out crying, and of course. And then when
You
she
did you get on your knee?
nah,
No, okay.
nah, just dropped it in her. it was the position that we were in. It was just like
Your
perfect. So
catch.
I wanted to surprise her, like really surprise her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not a traditional guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Is the going on the knee like a necessary thing?
Um.
Or maybe I'm just a
No,
hipster because
it's
everyone else
unnecessary.
does it. I didn't want to do
Yeah.
it. I don't know. But we're looking for a
It's
church.
symbolic.
We're looking for a church now. We're actually gonna. We went to an Orthodox church, but someone was getting married there, so we didn't actually go in. Uh, so I still haven't gone inside, but I want to check it out. Because might as well do it right. Because we've got to find a church anyway, so might as well find
Yeah.
a good priest. Because I want to find like a good priest or counselor or just someone like
Like
a
someone that knows what's
coach.
up.
Yeah, like a mentor. You know, I feel like I'm missing that, and someone that you can really, if you're having problems or, I think like when you get married, for example, at least how it works in the Catholic Church, and I'm assuming Orthodox Church, is that they'll do like marriage counseling, and they really prepare you for this thing because it's a really big deal. It's not this thing that, all right, we're getting married on this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, come whatever priest. It's like serious stuff. It's like a contract between. It's like a union of the flesh. Like you're
It is.
becoming one with someone else. That's why we have male and female. You know, we're not.
You're
I
like
think we're
signing a contract with God over it.
yeah with God. So then God is like at the top of the pyramid, and then we're the kind of base sort of thing. So it's like yeah, it's really beautiful. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
already invited you, so hopefully
Yeah. No, I'll be
doors
there
open.
without a
Yeah,
doubt.
sweet.
Yeah. If like, do you have a date yet?
Not an official date, but around
Like
November next year.
yeah. I bet things should be
Yeah,
normal. Things should
yeah,
be relatively normal by then.
gives us some time to save up and obviously,
Yeah, for sure. Without even a question, I'll
you
be
know,
there.
go to. I'm actually I invited. I might even go with Jamie to an Orthodox church because he's been before.
Oh yeah, I guess he's probably a good contact
You
to
should
ask
search
about that.
if you look on Google, like Orthodox Church versus Catholic Church. It's like so colorful and psychedelic, and it's like whoa, it's amazing. And then Catholic is like gothic,
Right.
very gothic. I feel like I'm shitting on Catholicism a lot, but I am Catholic actually. I was born Catholic, so am I? Are you allowed to shit on your own religion if you're born in it?
Um, I guess it's better. It's better if you were born in it than if you weren't born in it. Yeah, you ever looked at any of the old mosque and the artwork they got in the mosque, all the colorful artwork?
Mm,
Like the stained glass windows that make the ground like a million colors.
yeah.
It's like a psychedelic whirlwind.
And it's something interesting what you just said about what Alistair Crowley said about naming a spirit,
Mm-hmm.
how it gives it more power. And I think that's why they have the icon, like with Christ. You know, they've got the image of Christ. So then when you're conversing with God, you have an image, like an actual tangible
Right.
image. You know what I mean? And it's not just an image; it's like it's obviously God in the flesh. So it's like that mediator.
Check this out.
Did you know that?
777 and other
Did you hear that when he died?
Kabbalistic writing.
Did you hear that when he died on his deathbed? He said, "Satan, get out," or something like that. So he
Really?
basically died with Satan whispering in his ear, and he's like, "Fuck, shit," that kind of thing. I'm paraphrasing,
God
but
damn it.
that's pretty much the. Well, yeah, man, come on. If you're gonna dedicate yourself to satanic rituals,
I need to learn more about him.
I just don't think that your end game is going to be good.
Book 4.
Yeah.
It says, Book 4, parts 1 and 2, together with magic in theory and practice, make up a complete course in magic with practical instructions in yoga and mysticism. This book is an introduction and foundation upon which all further magical work will be based. Deals with yoga in a very sound and methodical.
Methodol-
Methodical?
methodological.
Methodological?
I was going to interview a Satanist,
Man.
but he keeps
Yeah, you should.
every time I email, it's like, oh, sorry, come back later, come back later, come back later. I'm like, yeah. I would like to, because I'd like to. I want to get into the mind of what a Satanist is. I understand.
You gotta find a real one though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because it's like Christian. It's like Christians, right? Like, how many fake ass Christians are there in this world?
Yeah. Because otherwise, you're just gonna get like some goth kid that like is into Marilyn Manson or something.
Yeah, yeah,
You're trying to figure out his mind, and he just like hates his dad.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Like, what's your theology? It's like, so yeah. It's like, I believe this and this. It's like, you have daddy issues. That's literally why you're
Yeah.
a Satanist. And it's okay. I think a lot of us have daddy issues. I think our society
Oh, I
has a lot
definitely do.
have daddy issues, and I think
Yeah,
that's
I got
a psychological reason why we're so opposed to Christianity, because that kind of represents that ultimate father figure at the end of the day. Order, rules, authority, all these ugly words to the rebels, right? I'm a rebel by
yeah.
nature, so I understand. Like, it doesn't, like, I don't cringe from that word now. In fact, I look at these as good things. But back then, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you definitely helped me appreciate Christianity in a different lens. And it's cool because you went through everything else already too.
Everything else. It was my last stop.
Yeah, it's your
Hopefully.
last stop. So it's not like, yeah. So it's cool that you have the other wisdom of those other things along the way.
Well, because I find it's easy to talk about, because if someone's just been a Christian their whole life, like, let's just say, for argument's sake, that they know the ultimate truth and everything they believe is completely accurate and true, but it's hard for someone to listen to them when that's all they've known their whole life. You know
Right.
what I mean? Whereas I went really deep into all sorts of stuff. Buddhism would have been like my spiritual foundation, I guess. But from what I understand, like, it's very useful, and I love some of its practices. But I think in a way, it's like Buddhism is like a spiritual atheism in a way,
Yeah.
where it's like, it is spirituality, but at the end of the day, the God is nothingness. You know, like, it's just an absence of something, and so it's more of a pragmatic atheism, in a sense. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, like poetic atheism.
Yeah, yeah, basically relativism.
Yeah, I guess so.
But the where relativism fails logically isn't the first step. To say all truth is relative is an absolute claim. So is that true? Is it true that all truth is relative? Because if it is true, then that means there is an absolute truth. And if it isn't true, well, yeah, it's wrong anyway. Is that when you make a good point? Or like
Yeah,
or
we're
you
rocking
flop?
this one here.
That's so good. I want to get like a soundboard. Get like Arnold
Yeah, you need one.
Schwarzenegger. Get out of here.
You can change him.
Take it easy, dude, but take it.
When in doubt, double the dose.
Legal, right? Totally legal.
Okay.
That's Elon Musk and Joe Rogan smoking weed.
It's legal,
It's
right?
totally legal.
I mean, it's illegal, right?
I'm gonna get I want to get like Jordan Peterson sound bites. I reckon that'll be hilarious.
What's he up to these days?
Wrong.
He's doing better.
Well, I don't know. So he's killing it, man. He's just doing podcasts, and I think he's getting closer and closer to like Christianity. He was always into it, like he was always teaching that kind of stuff, but he always speaking from it from a psychological perspective.
Yeah.
And you could tell that he was going through his own conflict in his mind. His health went down. He was kind of, you know what I mean? Like you could see the conflict in his mind. That's the problem when you are just living in the psychology realm. And he spoke to someone actually who's the brother of the author of this book. I think I showed you this. So this is The Language of Creation, that teaches you the cosmic symbolism of Genesis. And yeah, I think his wife had cancer, and she almost died, and then she became like super religious after that. And so I think that's just the route that they're going. So but he's really cool. He's on it, man. He's our internet daddy in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no wonder he exploded in popularity, man, because like our whole family structure is just falling apart completely. Like divorce, relationships are falling apart more than ever. Debauchery and lust and kind of just having sex with whoever is like so normal now.
Yeah, it's almost like it's rebellious to actually work on a relationship and make it work.
Yeah, I feel like
That's
I'm a rebel by going like kind of back to Christianity. It's like
yeah, you are for sure.
it's the
It's a
rebel,
rebellious act.
which is so weird. But at the same time, what's another thing that kind of blows my mind is that like in scripture, it tells you, it prophesizes that the world is going to be against Christians. It called it. I've just never seen another kind of holy book that explicitly says within their book, oh yeah, by the way, the whole world's going to hate you or something like that. And it kind of like predicted exactly how it was going to go down. Like the apostles, man,
Does
dude,
it say
they had
Christians?
brutal deaths. Well, those who speak in Christ's name. So really, it's at the end in Revelation. At the end of the day, it's Christ versus Antichrist, truth versus anti-truth.
Right.
We'll see. I don't know which part of Revelations we're in now. Like, did the sixth seal just open or something? Because they have seals, right? You got the first seal that opens and all this shit happens. And then they talk about one of the other seals that pestilence, the horseman of pestilence comes, you know, and that's the virus. I feel like that's kind of like COVID or something. I don't know.
Shit, I hope not. I hope isn't there a point where there's like giant titans and stuff that come out of the ground?
I don't know if in Revelations, I think giants are like in Genesis, like old school. And those were like the abomination creation of like angels having sex with humans or something like that.
It talks about that in Genesis?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure because it's a big book.
Yeah.
There's a lot to get into. And I would prefer to kind of reread certain gospels first and like understand it before like just reading it all just to say that I have. But no, it's good because I was telling you I got the Orthodox Study Bible, which is really interesting because they kind of fill in the gaps because there's a lot that can be misinterpreted. You never know. And you got to think of like the words that were used in the Bible had a different context and meaning, where like meaning changes over time. That's like part of like sort of, I guess you could call it the Antichrist, anti-truth movement, is that just the meaning of words are constantly changing. And it's like on one hand you think, oh, that's good, we're updating it, but it's just confusing,
right?
It's adding confusion. We should kind of just stick to what the original meaning was. It'll be much easier to communicate, I think.
I mean, even just in the last every generation the slang changes too. Imagine trying to talk to someone from the 40s or 50s. We got a whole different slang already, and it's only been 50, 60 years.
Yeah, it's funny how it is kind of rebellious to be like a good person.
to be normal.
Yeah. To like not do drugs. That's weird these days.
Yeah, it's like you don't drink, you don't do you're getting married,
or not to have sex with, or just having sex with the one partner and then that's it. Monogamy.
Yeah,
I feel like OnlyFans is just getting more and more normal.
It's oh yeah, it's normal for sure. If I want to see someone naked, I just go to their Twitter.
Yeah, porn's everywhere now. Because it used to be only like in porn magazines and stuff like that, but now it's everywhere on Twitter. Like you don't even. It's like it's not even
normal. Everyone is their own porn distributor.
And what do you think about that? Just willy-nilly wasting our sexual energy. Transferring it with other people.
I feel both. I feel like it's cool. I feel like own your body, and own it. I feel that, and I also feel like it comes from a bit of a sad place, and it's a reflection of a lost culture that doesn't. I mean, it's hard to talk about because people get offended and they think like you're trying to control people's bodies or whatever.
And that's
Yeah,
why
I don't know.
we have to separate like what should be illegal and just what's stating something that's not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think that
I mean, I don't
everything
think it should
wrong
be
should be
illegal.
illegal. Hey?
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be illegal. People
No, it
should be
shouldn't.
able to.
No. I would say people shouldn't watch porn, but it shouldn't be illegal. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, where it just keeps us attached to this lower aspect of ourself, the sexual,
Mm,
animalistic, primal
the
behavior.
carnal
Yeah,
passions. Yeah.
and I mean that's okay sometimes, but it's very easy to like for that to become a lifestyle in these cultures, in the culture that we live in, for that to be like what your life revolves around, about like girls, getting money, what brand you have on your t-shirt, what shoes you have, how exclusive this and that is. And I feel like we really yeah, I mean our culture really revolves around that, those sort of things that are the lower things.
Especially in its extremes, because like if you think about any bodily impulse, like hunger is not evil in and of itself, but when you go too far to the point where you just become like a sloth or a glutton,
Yeah.
then that would be a sin. It's when you go too far and you let your carnal pleasures control you instead of you controlling it.
Yeah, I mean, the OnlyFan thing, it's hard to say. It's definitely like
I
a
kind of worry about like the kind of relationship that these people will have in the future. Because you can call me
yes.
judgmental, but I wouldn't go out with someone who had an OnlyFans account. And I'm sure a lot of people probably feel that way. Like they wouldn't want their girlfriend's private parts up on the in display. I know some people don't care about that, but I'm talking like the long term vision here. Like,
I don't know if I care if like she had an OnlyFans before, but the thing that would bother me a little bit is the constant the constant intentionally putting herself in a position where all these guys can objectify her all the time, and every day she's
mm,
got this like flock of horny dudes that are just saying like the worst things to her, and she's got to cater to it because that's how she's getting paid.
mm,
For me that's where it would bother me. It's just like you got all these guys in your DMs all the time, and they're like sending you unsolicited dick pics and stuff just because they're so like in a spellbound by their by your OnlyFans.
mm.
Yeah, I mean it's dark business,
It is. It is.
but yeah, and I know, I mean it's just got to be rough to even just to be a girl in general.
Yeah.
Imagine having like guys. You ever see it, girls when they start sharing their messages on Instagram and stuff, all the crazy shit guys say. Like, hello, hi, fuck you, bitch. Like you didn't answer
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. But I feel like if you
Yeah,
like start an OnlyFans and get into the porn, then you're really opening the floodgates to
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
degenerates. You know.
Yeah, you're opening yourself up to a whole nother realm of golems.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's a very timed thing of being like showing sexy pictures of yourself, whatever, because you're going to reach an age where you're not going to be as attractive, and that's just the fact of life.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do then? Now you're 40 years old, your pussy is as loose as God knows what.
What's something that's
It's
really
hard.
loose?
It's just hard. Again, it sounds harsh, but at the same time, it's like you got to really prepare for the future, because like if you go through this route of just degeneracy and having sex with a billion guys and doing OnlyFans, and then by the time you reach 40, do you know how hard it's going to be to find a good guy? And then you're just complaining like, oh, all men are dicks and they're pigs and stuff like that. But look what you're attracting.
Yeah.
And I say
Yeah.
this, I care. I say this because I care, not because I'm,
It's a
I
it's a
don't care.
cultural
Like
problem.
if you want to do an OnlyFans, but I just don't think it ends well in the future. Assuming that you want to have a long-term happy relationship, which I feel like people tell themselves they don't want when they're younger, but over and over again,
What's the
as you
bright
get
side?
older, you want it. The bright side of OnlyFans?
Yeah. Yeah. A reclaiming of women having power over their bodies and having like sort of owning their sexuality. I feel like with OnlyFans you see a whole new revolution in body positivity. you see like heavier girls being able to rock their bodies more and stuff like that, and like you see I don't know. I'm trying to think of the positives of this.
I don't, again, I'm going to sound really mean, but I feel like it'd be better to just put down the fork, sort of thing, than, than put yourself that pictures online. I don't know. I know it's like really mean. I'm like, but I don't know, man. To objectify, because you could have put it the other way around. Like, how would you feel if like you started just putting dick pics online all the time? Would that be owning your body? I don't think so. I think that women are powerful in and of themselves. They don't need to put them naked pictures of themselves
right
to be powerful. Women are freaking. They make all the people. They're incredible. I love women. You don't need to do that. Or it's kind of even more special in a sense to see them naked privately in the room without pre-seeing it online. It's like less special.
Well, it gets that like little kid feeling inside of you.
Yeah.
Because you remember like back when you were a kid, before there was like naked pictures of everyone was sending naked pictures and stuff. You didn't know. You just had to use your imagination. And then, because now I feel like even before people have sex, they're seeing each other naked through naked pictures, through Snapchat and all this stuff. But back in the day, before all these text messages and stuff, like when we were right in our early teens, like you had to use your imagination to guess what a tit looked like.
It's true. It's definitely true. I remember like loading those JPEG images, and it was like the slow dial-up internet. It'll be like, and it'll get to the nipple, and you release. Yeah. But I get the intention behind. Like, I understand the intention, but again, the road to hell is paved with good intention. So I don't, just because you have a good intention for something, I'm just looking at the reality of how it actually plays out. I just don't think it's good. Especially if you want to find a good, man, like
that's the thing. There's gonna be no good men. Well, and it's not to say that women that use OnlyFans are bad women, but
no.
But you're gonna have
just because you do a bad thing, and just because you do a bad thing, it doesn't make you a bad person necessarily. You got to remove the sin from the sinner sometimes, you know. But yeah. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I don't know, but you know, it's like I like bodies, women's bodies too. So it's like I also understand that perspective of it, where it's like, yeah, I guess I would give you like $3 to look at your body.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of that girl finding a really happy long-term relationship in the future. Because it would be harder. You're definitely closing doors for the good guys and opening more doors for pieces of crap.
I said, does it make us? I threw you into that. Does it make me a bad guy that I would like spend money on something like that?
No, I've done it too, man. I have lust is one of my biggest problems. So I'm not, again, I get it, but I'm not going to frame it to think it's good. That's all. Right. But yes, it is. Yeah. It is a bad thing to do. Like, it's okay. Yeah. You can forgive yourself, but just don't convince yourself that it's good. That's my argument here.
Yeah.
I do bad shit all the time, man. I sin every day. It's fucking hard. It's really hard. That's why, like, humans are fallible by nature. So I get it. It's just more framing it to be positive. Again, we live in this inverted world. It's like go back to the Antichrist sort of thing. They get truth and flip it on its head, and now evil is good and good is evil, and that's not good. It's not good, man. You know, I don't know what to do about that.
What's your plans for the rest of the day? You're just getting started over there.
Yeah, just chill, edit. Maybe do some reading.
What are you working on?
Right now, I'm probably going to edit these podcasts, actually, because I've got a couple podcasts. But I haven't recorded a video in a while. I want to start talking.
You should start just doing normal topic videos. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen any of those videos that I did. Like the ones I've been doing the last week. Like for example, I just did a video called "Life is Meaningless, but That's Okay" or something, and I'm just talking
Mm.
about how meaning is like a personal relationship, and there's not like an objective meaning, and like we all have our. But anyways, I feel like you could do these type of videos where you have like a topic like that and you just ramble for 10, 20, 30 minutes, however long.
How do you get these
And then you don't have to,
topics and the titles?
how do you what?
How do you come up with these topics and titles? Do you
Just
read them
think
from
about it
fans?
throughout the day, like these anything you're interested in, like something, any of the stuff that we're talking about, and then you just turn the camera on and start rambling about it, and then maybe find something like an interesting quote or something you said to use as the title.
That's
But I
good.
mean,
Yeah. I gotta do,
that
and
way
everyone tells me to
you
do
don't have to
this,
spend
man.
so much time on editing.
Like all my followers and Yesenia is like, dude, you gotta just start making. I think I got too much in my head of like, no, every video has to be like high quality and all that kind of stuff, and then all that's done is kind of made me cut down on how many videos I make.
Yeah, no,
So
I think even just turning the camera on and not even just doing uncut 20-minute talk of just whatever the topic is, just thinking about f philosophy or whatever.
yeah, that's what I think about a lot. Philosophy, religion,
I
where,
think people would appreciate those videos.
where we're at now. I want to like I've been going deeper into nihilism. I think that that's something that a lot of people struggle with, falling into that existential
Hmm.
despair of, life is meaningless and we're in the abyss, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
that's something that I want to help people get out of.
Yeah, you make like that right there is a video.
It's tough to shake out. That's like a series. That's a book, but you could make
Like,
it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a documentary, but I mean, you could just talk about that and just say like, the title of the video, everyone feels nihilistic and it sucks, but you don't have to feel that way or something, I don't know. I
Mm,
don't know what you call it. But and then you just talk about it. It's everyone feels nihilistic because of these reasons, and here's how you overcome and transcend those reasons. And I mean, it's basically what you're doing now, but you just don't have to put all the edits and animations and stuff, and
mm.
just like a
That's why.
raw mental vomit.
Yeah, that's why I like doing these podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, the same thing as a podcast
Mm.
by yourself.
A solo podcast. All right.
Yeah, solo podcast. You should do like one a week. I bet your channel would grow a lot.
Yeah, I think so. I think because there was like a few years where I was going through like a shift in my philosophy. So I was like, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut for a while just so I can go deeper into this and
Know what you're talking about?
see if it sticks,
Right.
sort of thing. Because I've done mistakes in the past of like kind of spouting something that I like recently kind of just heard, and then
And the
later
thing that
down the
sucks about
track,
that,
I'm like, oh, it's wrong. That was completely
yeah,
fucking
the thing that
wrong.
sucks about that is that someone finds that video, even if it's like 5 years old or 6 years old, they're gonna be like, "Fuck you with your stupid thought.
Yeah,
This is wrong."
yeah. I know, I
They'll be
know.
tweeting about it. It's like, man, that was 5 years ago. Yeah.
Definitely got to do it. Yeah, I think it's a good time to end it.
Sure.
Well, we've been going on for like 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. A little bit over
Nice.
2 hours, I think.
So what are you up to for the rest of the night? What time
I'm
is
just
it
gonna
over
go eat some dinner. It's 8 here.
there? Okay,
So I'm just gonna go make some dinner and then just chill. Maybe do some editing.
nice. What are you working on?
I got a bunch of Mexico stuff, but I want to get the Agori stuff done. I just have never. I don't know. I keep not working on it, but it's almost done. Maybe like 4 or 5 days if I really worked on it.
I just remembered my spiritual Indian name, Prabhu Das. Remember that?
Prabhu Das.
I got spiritually named. That's my Hindu name.
Prabhu Das.
Prabhu Das.
Yeah, people commented on my video sometimes. Someone said was like, "Where's Prabhu Das at?"
It's Prabhu Das. That's hilarious.
Indians call me Gajananda still.
That's hilarious.
Dude,
Yeah, we're gonna
Indians
go
are
to
the
India
best.
again. That'd be cool. Like maybe
They're
the
the
south,
best.
maybe the south this time.
No, we go to the northeast.
or north, like where
No,
the
no, no.
Dalai
Like,
Lama is?
no, that's the northwest. We go to
Okay.
the northeast.
What's in the
That's
northeast?
that's the unknown territory. People don't travel there.
Really?
That's the tribal area.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's like it's like away from all the civilizations, and it's just like
What's the main religion? Hindu? That
I
part,
don't
or
even know. Probably some tribal stuff.
like its own
Like
thing?
yeah, it's probably its own thing. Nagaland. That's where I want to go. I want to go to a place called Nagaland.
Nagaland. Awesome. Yeah, man, I haven't left this country. This is the longest I haven't left Australia for.
Yeah, as soon as it opens, we'll go somewhere crazy. Wherever you want to go, we'll
It's
go.
like, yes, what, since March last year? And we're still closed, man. We don't know what's happening.
Since March last year. It's only been a year and a half.
Only in Mexico, man. That was like, I remember in Peru when we said goodbye to each other, we're like, all right, see you in a couple months in Mexico. And that didn't end up happening at all. Well, it did for you, but
India is better than Mexico.
yeah.
I like India better than Mexico. I mean, I love Mexico because I mean, in Mexico is a little bit closer to our kind of culture. I like India because it's so wild.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It's different.
Mexico is not as crazy, so it's like it's not as exciting every day. Like India is just so. There's really I've never been to another place that's like that. That's just so crazy. The streets are just always alive. There's always noise everywhere.
I would imagine Japan would be a similar thing.
Were
Of
you
like,
there?
whoa, this is a different world, you know?
You remember when we were in that tuk-tuk and that one building started exploding? We were in the street. Steffi Lee was there. She was with us.
It's
We were
a
in a
building
tuk-tuk.
exploded.
It just started like the wires all started catching on fire, and it just started like pop, pop, pop.
Oh, are you sure I was there? Maybe this was before
I'm not sure
I
if you were
arrived.
there. Yeah, maybe before you arrived. But
That's when we went to
anyways,
the mosque. That was so funny. Let's get in.
oh, you know who just messaged me recently?
Who?
The little guy from the mosque.
Oh, really? What's he doing?
Yeah.
Nice.
He just says like hello and he doesn't go deep into conversation. I was just like, "Do you remember me?" And he just says yes. But,
Fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah. I'm sure. I mean, he's alive. He's doing good, I think.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was awesome. That was like
Little
my
midget.
first. It was my first mosque experience too.
It's super
like-
cool. Remember that? You remember that one woman kept following us around begging for money, and there's that little building that says like no women allowed, and we just walked in there,
Yeah.
stopped begging.
Yeah. Well, you can't follow me in here. Only men allowed. Yeah, that's crazy.
A
'Cause
giant
that guy,
sign
that-
says
the
no
guy with the
women allowed.
green robe, he was like, no, like, don't give her money.
Yeah,
So we're just like trying to ignore
dude,
her.
that place was crazy. That's one of the craziest places in Delhi.
Yeah, definitely.
That's like walking back in time or something.
We were wearing the hats and everything. And we brought
Yeah,
Jamie.
what
We
are-
went the
what are
three
those
times.
little-
We went the 3 times. The first time was definitely the most scary. That's because I was really
Yep.
stoned and paranoid, and there was a lot of foreign languages.
It was just a
weird
crazy
people.
night too. The energy was different that night.
Yeah, it's like Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley.
Yeah, totally like Diagon Alley
Yeah.
for sure.
And to go and it's a different religion, so it's like a different religion, different country, different language. It's very overwhelming.
And like
I
the poverty of India. There's like goats walking around and cats and like
or people
Yeah, it
dragging
always
themselves
reminds
without
me-
legs, like amputated legs or
Oh, yeah,
something. You
on
see
the
that
ground.
sometimes. Yeah, that's pretty.
It
It's pretty
reminds me
tough.
of like the starting scene of Aladdin, where the guy's like, "Hey, come with me. Look at here. Check out my trinkets." He's like opening his trench coat, and it's just full of like artifacts. That's what I feel like that little place is. Come
Yeah.
over here.
Nah, it's cool, man. I would love to go again. More prepared,
Yeah, we'll definitely go there again.
better camera gear and all that kind of stuff. Middle East. I just want to
And
travel.
we're pretty
man.
ballsy, man. I wouldn't walk the way I walk around in India with my camera. I wouldn't walk around like that in Mexico.
Nah, neither
I
would
don't. No, but in India, it's cool. Everyone loves
India's
it.
different because even if you're like a really ghetto part, it's like they're Indians. Like, come on. Like Mexicans are like, oh, they're Mexicans. Indians like, oh, they're Indians. Like they're so much like more friendlier, you know. I feel
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
like way
I
less
mean,
chance
people
that you're
get
gonna get
robbed in India
robbed.
and stuff.
And but even like for example, I feel like white people, for example, I feel like they're regarded as like on a higher status, and it's just part of their culture.
Yeah.
And you see it in the advertisements on the billboards. It's always white people, blue
Yep.
eyes, and
You can even buy skin bleaching kits
yeah,
in India.
there you go. Because dark skin indicates that you're poor, and you see it within businesses, right? You can always tell who's the manager. It's always the light skinned Indian.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's maybe part of the reason why I'm much more ballsy in India. Like I'll go in the middle of the ghetto and pull out my $3,000 camera. I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah,
But in Mexico,
Super Bowl.
yeah,
Nah, you can't do that in Mexico.
I don't even know if I'd do that in Australia, dude. In some parts.
Yeah. Yeah, Mexico.
And I think because in India everyone's like smaller, like everyone's smaller than me.
you could see over everyone's head.
Yeah. And they're pretty peaceful, man. I feel like generally speaking, I didn't have any like issues. Like no one trying to steal.
No, never.
Like a lot of bullshitting. There was definitely a lot of that. Just people lying through their teeth.
Trying to rip you off for like $1 or something.
Yeah, things like that. And like I have empathy for that because of where they're at. But eventually that empathy goes down the tube and you're like, all right, fuck off. Like you just get like over it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in India for a long time. Jamie was funny.
Towards the end, man. Towards the end, you're a whole different people. You're a different person.
Yeah.
Everybody that visits in.
But Jamie was funny.
Fuck off.
Talking to the sadhus and stuff.
Jamie,
like, so what?
he was fed up.
Like, so what? Does putting this orange robe make you spiritual? It wasn't framed that mean. I'm just saying it like that for comedic purposes, but it was just funny. It's really cool. Like he was always willing to challenge people, like even sadhus and the holy teachers. I respected that. I'm like, man, that's awesome. It kind of inspired me to be more like that.
Me too. Yeah,
like
me
to
too.
actually call people out on their bullshit instead of just like, oh yeah.
Because I get caught in the bullshit sometimes. Like if someone starts like giving me the runaround, I'll like fall. Like remember, like we were in Varanasi, and this guy, we somehow got caught with this guy, and Jamie got mad and walked away.
Yeah.
Remember that?
It's like I don't have time for this shit. Yeah.
I don't have fucking time for this. And
you
guys have fun.
Yeah. He even told us, it's like, why are you giving this person your energy? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, man. We're in too deep.
we're in too deep.
To the point where it got to the like we'll keep bumping into him. And it's like, oh, he wanted us to like pay him money to show us around. And by the end of it, we just ended up leaving. And it's like, I can't believe you. I've never met people like you. Like, because I didn't want to pay him. I didn't want to pay the guy. Because we already paid. Because they asked for more. He's like, all right, you can do a donation if you want. And then that already turns into like, all right, you need to pay this. And then you pay this. And then it's like, all right, by the way, you need to do this. And then it's like, all right.
Remember the guy that was on the motorcycle and I had the foreigner in the back of the motorcycle with him and he hit the cow and killed the girl?
And she died, yep. I remember.
Yep.
They were selling hash. Yeah, they were the drug deal. They were the drug dealers of the neighborhood. It was pretty cool. I've definitely learned a lot. So India has like really helped me kind of be more cutthroat when I need to sort of
me too.
Plow through. So I think when I go back, it'll be much, much easier.
I just love that raw environment like that. Like when we were hanging out in that little tunnel, that spooky ass tunnel that you would never hang out anywhere else in the world, where Jamie was arguing with that sadhu, and we were smoking hash with those guys, with the guy that killed that girl.
Yeah.
Just in this crazy
Who's
situation.
Smoking hash with the guy who killed that girl? Like, imagine like listening to that out of context. Yeah, go on.
I mean, but like, where else on earth would you be in this situation? In
Nah,
some creepy tunnel, there's like sadhus around. A guy that killed a girl. We're smoking hash.
no way, man. And the footage, man, everything is like cinematic. Like, how many times would I like just start recording and it was just like a movie scene? Just shit would just
The
start
guy
happening.
peeing. Wasn't there like a dog, and the guy was peeing
Yeah.
next to the dog or something?
Yes. It's like, oh man, it's so sad. And people
This is crazy.
like the camera, like people are way more open to getting recorded. Right.
I've never been somewhere where they want to be on camera so bad.
Yeah.
Like they want it. Me.
Yeah. And super cheap as well. That's what I like about India. But the
can't
food,
even believe
is the only thing that's like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
that's
next time
hard.
we go, we got to like figure out a way to do better, man, because that really
That was,
took a toll on me. Took me like a
when you're
month to recover.
dude,
I was drinking
like
soft
when we
drinks,
were,
man. I told you I don't drink soft drink. I didn't drink soft drinks for like 6 years. I'm not even joking. I haven't had a sip of
dude,
soft drink for 6 years until I went to India because of going to the shit mountain. And I needed, my body's like, you need some poison to kill this fucking shit particle. So I had a Coca-Cola. And in
Oh
that
my God.
and in that context, actually, it was probably medicine. But that garbage mountain, man, I don't know. I feel like it's just see vultures flying
That
around
was
everywhere.
horrible.
There's probably corpses all under that mountain and shit. And then there's like
For sure.
and
There's
then
at
there's
least
like
one corpse in there.
there's like a fish seafood place up like next to it or something. Fish and eggs or
Oh
something
yeah, the
gross.
fish market.
Yeah.
Fish and chicken market.
Right next to the place. I
I would
almost
just
threw up.
move.
I was
I'd be
so
like,
close
this
to
is
throwing
bad for
up.
business. I could go open a market anywhere else and do better.
Right? Anywhere else. Maybe not next to the shit mountain.
Anywhere else.
Yeah. Anywhere but the shit mountain. Yeah, that was amazing.
Horrible.
And
Horrible,
we're
man.
like,
That's
and
still there right now.
and Jamie had like that fucking that wet wipe or whatever.
Tissues.
And I couldn't breathe in my mouth. And you're just like you were breathing through your mouth. You couldn't even breathe through your nose.
Yeah.
I
I'm
almost
breathing my nose at all.
it would have been one of those situations that if you threw up, it would have been an uncontrolled. That would have triggered it more, and you would have kept throwing up to the point where you die.
Yeah.
I reckon. You just throw up until you're dead. Well, because when you throw up, you want to isolate yourself in a toilet and not constantly smell this stuff.
Is so horrible. People live there, man.
Yeah.
And
Were you
they're
telling me that
they're
they
there
have
right
like
now.
they have like black lungs and stuff like that? Like they die by
Crazy
the age of 30.
thing.
I know.
And it's
It
just
makes you think and be grateful for where you are. You know, even now,
how much
like
you think it costs to have an apartment over there?
at the shit mountain.
Yeah. It must be so cheap to live over by that. Must
10
be like
bucks.
straight up $10 a month.
Yeah, probably.
It probably really is really cheap. It must be like $20 a month, $10 a month.
Oh, imagine living in that stink though, man. You'd get used to
They
it
don't smell
eventually,
it, you
but
don't think?
I think that's worse if you get used to it, because then you're just constantly breathing in that shit,
That's toxic.
literally breathing in shit.
Yeah, that's toxic. That's got to be so bad to breathe.
Every time I think about that memory, my face already kind of scrunches up. Like, oh man, that was so bad. As soon as we opened that Uber door, we knew that we fucked up.
Yeah, we were unprepared. We didn't bring anything to block our nose, nothing.
And it was warm. Picture the worst smell you've ever smelt in your life,
A
but
hot Indian day.
warm. Oh,
And it looks like a mountain as you're approaching it. You're just like, oh, look at that beautiful mountain over there. All the birds flying around it.
and you go closer,
And then
wait, they're vultures,
vultures.
number one.
And this is Mordor.
I don't think I've ever seen a bunch of vultures circling a place in my life. Have you? It's the first and
I saw
last.
vultures eat a dead dog one time in Costa Rica.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was tough as well for me. I know it's like a program, especially in Australia, we love dogs.
Oh, the dogs.
Like this is the kind of place, like if you were to see someone beat a dog in public, that person would get absolutely smashed.
Yeah.
We freaking love, you don't mess with dogs here.
Yeah.
So that's like my upbringing. So going to India and seeing dogs getting treated like crap and then cows getting treated like gods. It's like, whoa, what a
Crazy, right?
it's a
so
different
strange.
paradigm. Completely different paradigm. But I think, I don't know, because I think like when I think about dogs, it's like we've bred them through so many generations to be our best friends. So I feel like it's almost a heavier karma to kill a dog.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like you've pretended for generations and generations, like we're your best friend, and then they just start torturing them or whatever it is. Like we saw some horrible stuff with dogs, obviously. And so that was like really, really tough for me to get through. But I try to understand it's a different culture and whatnot. But you know, on the other hand, I eat cow, so I'm sure an Indian will probably be horrified at what I'm doing.
It's illegal in some places to eat cow in India.
Yeah, but I don't eat a cow for just fun or pleasure. I do it for health. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I do. I don't eat it for pleasure. It can be pleasurable though. Don't get me wrong.
You know Pete?
Hey?
Pete from Marcana? Pete?
Yeah, of course.
I think he's eaten dog before.
On purpose?
Yeah, on purpose.
Oh. Dim Sim?
In China. Because he speaks Chinese.
Ah, yeah, they do those dog festivals.
I think
where
that's
they,
happening now.
They skin dogs alive.
Yeah, I think that's going on right now.
Makes them taste better. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard conversation, man, because at the same time, like, what makes one animal okay to eat and another one not okay to eat? I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
But there seems to
I
be
don't know if there's an answer.
But there seems to be certain differences, you know. I don't think that all animals are made equal. Like, I feel like eating a cow would be very different to eating a monkey. I'm talking like health-wise, like how your body would actually react to it. Right. Like, I think nature has put these guards of like, all right, you can eat animals, but just certain ones. Don't eat all of them. Some of them you're not supposed to eat at all.
Yeah, because like eating humans gives you a certain disease, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And some animals just have different roles, right? You have a rabbit and you got a wolf. You got deer, you got lion. And it's just, is the lion bad for eating a deer? I don't think so. But it's just about doing it. Obviously, we've gone way too far with factory farming, yada, yada, yada. Just for those listening, I used to be a vegan for about 3 years. So I definitely understand. I went really deep into it. But then my body started to fall apart. Because I remember even in India, because I remember telling you, like, I'm not going to eat cow. Number one, because I feel like it's disrespectful because I'm in India. I'm in their culture. Right. But second of all, I don't trust the meat that they would have either. So I went full veggie in India.
You remember eating that pasta in the place wherever the rat temple was at, Beaconeer? We ordered some pasta or something.
Oh.
And I just remember, like, fuck, we took a couple bites of it and we were like, I can't even eat this.
No.
Just like kind of pissed off because we're hungry.
Every time I think about food in India, I just feel sad. I'm like, oh man, that wasn't very good. But I hear the south of India has like way better food. That's what they say. But could that just be because people are from there, so they're gonna obviously say like, no, we have the best food.
I mean, the street food's pretty good. It just depends where you're at.
It is. Remember the street food is good. Jodhpur? It's just not healthy. That's the thing. So there's I feel like everything that we had was like super unhealthy. Some stuff that tasted bad that was unhealthy, and some stuff that tasted good that was unhealthy. But it was all unhealthy. Yeah, definitely. Like the samosas, sure. It's like deep fried stuff, and they probably use the same oil. They probably use the same oil as well. They don't change it
for a year.
Yeah, exactly. So it's.
But yeah, go to India. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, go to India. No, it's good. It's good for you. I think it's good to see like that aspect of reality. And I think that if it's taken in the right context, you will go back home and be so grateful.
I love it. I wish I was going there tomorrow.
Yeah. We're just got to figure out a way to eat healthier food, like plan. That's the only thing that I would change. Because it really
when we were up in Kasol, remember when we were getting the watermelon juice and stuff all the time? That was good food there.
Yeah, it was.
We had like the pad thai and stuff, you remember?
Yep.
In the building. Remember I did like the cartoon. I fell down the stairs like a cartoon character. I like slipped all the way down like a 15 lights thing of stairs.
I remember those like Nazi symbol looking things. I know it's not a Nazi symbol, but to the untrained eye, it looks like a swastika. Yeah. over every step. That would
That's so
suck.
funny.
Imagine the
But there
Nazis
was good
just
food at
rule.
that place.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The watermelon, but see, that was more Tibetan. Like, yeah, it was technically India, but it didn't feel like India to me. You already get into Tibet land. The food was different. The quality was different. There was less annoying people. People kind of like you could just kind of chill, watch the shop, and not have someone disturb you.
Right.
That kind of thing.
We were in, like, we did like a pretty rough route, like the India. We were in real India.
People ask me, "It's like, where did you go?" I went to hell. I went to hell and back. But there were some really nice moments though, like that sleeping in the desert under the full moon. I remember having that goat curry. I think that was the only meat that I had throughout the entire trip. And I remember
that was amazing.
And that was the best meal that I had.
Weren't we sleeping outside in the jungle too with those sadhus?
Yeah, we were. With a net, obviously.
Yeah,
with a netting.
That was miserable. Still sleeping out in that thing. In that hard ass wood bed.
A monkey barber, he comes to you. When somebody, he loved Dakota's vape pen. It changed his life.
Those guys, man. Those guys are probably just chilling there still.
He actually sounds like that. That's just funny. Like, we're not even exaggerating. That guy's cool.
Such a badass character, dude. Just NPCs.
NPCs, eh?
The NPCs of life.
Would you go to Pakistan?
I would love to.
Yeah?
It's open right now.
Really?
Yep, you can go. Anyone can go.
The Middle East
is also open.
Yeah, I'd love to go to the Middle East, actually. I don't know why. There's just something about it.
It's amazing.
I feel like people would be really friendly there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I have like one of my best mates is a Muslim, and they're always like so like just beautiful people, man. Like so friendly and hospitable, and they welcome you.
The most actually, India might be the most hospitable place I've ever been, but outside of that, the Middle East is so hospitable. I mean, like India and the Middle East, it's unmatched anywhere else that I've been in the world. People just are when I was in Palestine, people were giving me free rides, giving me food. Everything was free, basically.
Wow.
Free tea, coffee, cigarettes.
Yeah, it's nice like that when people are just like have open arms.
When they know you're a tourist, they just go above and beyond to like make sure that you're having a good time.
Yeah. Some countries are not like that at all. It's like the opposite. It's like, it's a bloody tourist. I heard France is like that a lot. Like if you don't speak French.
Yeah, fuck France.
I look down here. Everyone hates France. It's so funny. I feel like it's a universal like hate group. Like, the French. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what they are, but I just hate them.
I feel that way.
I know, like no logical reason. I guess they kind of had that. They kind of had that pretentious sort of. But it's really the guys, because I don't feel like that with the girls. Like when a woman has a French accent, it's like sexy, But when a guy speaks it like that certain tone,
I'm French.
Yeah. Like shut up, dude. But you know.
You ever seen what's the thing they have in France? The
Eiffel Tower.
You ever seen the Eiffel Tower? You ever had a kiss under the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah. Is that a reindeer?
I feel like they still wear it. Is it what?
Is that a reindeer on your mic?
It's the blue deer. It's the peyote and the blue deer.
Because that's the spirit that represents the peyote plant, right?
Yeah, I don't fully understand the story of it, but something like that.
Okay. Because in Peru, they symbolize the San Pedro cactus with the hummingbird.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
Check this thing out. My smudger.
Whoa. What feather is that?
I think it's an owl feather.
Wow. That's really cool. I wish I have it. I'm going to get it next time. Oh, nice. In Australia, it's very common for you to buy kangaroo balls as a bottle opener.
Oh fuck.
Like literal kangaroo balls.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You got a Dragon Ball behind you?
Yes, that's right. The 4-star Dragon
Nice.
Ball. Just finished watching it the other day. It's good stuff.
Have you seen every episode?
Yeah, multiple times. That's a lot of episodes. One
How
of the
many
main
episodes is
reasons
it?
I want to go to Japan. Well, there's Dragon Ball, which has just under 200 episodes, and there's Dragon Ball Z, which has 291 episodes. And then you got Dragon Ball Super, which has about 120 episodes.
Do you think you've seen every single one of them and all of them?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
That's crazy.
Dragon Ball Z, I've seen like a few times each. So I've probably watched it like 5 times over. And then Super, I've seen a couple times. Pretty good, man. There's Japanese. They know how to make
They're still making them or no?
Yeah, they are. A new Dragon Ball movie's coming out next year. So I'm very excited. It's been a long time.
And they just keep adding on to the story, or they
Yeah.
retelling the story?
Yeah. Like Super didn't come out until like almost 20 years after Dragon Ball Z ended. And it started off with a movie. And it was a direct continuation of Z. So it's really cool. So it's like 20 years later, but the story itself is like directly a direct continuation. And they go higher. It's more about multiverses, you know, like the last tournament was like the Tournament of Power, which is like all these universes fighting for their survival. So it's like as epic as it gets. You should watch it. It's good stuff. Well, I don't know
I've
if you
never
should.
really
'Cause
watched it before.
It's a long. It's a big commitment. Yeah.
That's something you gotta start. That's a journey you have to start as a kid.
Or at least watch some episodes as a kid just to kind of familiarize yourself. Yeah. Well, because I had a mate of mine who's
Everyone
never
loves
watched
it.
because my mate, he never watched Dragon Ball Z, or he watched like a few episodes, but he watched it for the first time properly as an adult and he loved it.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely loved it. He got obsessed. He watched the whole thing. He watched Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super all in a row. That's a lot of episodes. Because I was thinking that too. I'm like, oh, maybe it's it's like a anime for Netflix sort of thing, Anime Lab.
Mm-hmm.
So you pay a subscription and you get like basically all anime shows. Sweet as. Yeah, man. I reckon. I know I said we're gonna stop recording like half an hour ago. I'm the worst at saying goodbye. But we'll leave it. We'll leave the recording at that. Do you want to share to people at home? What are you doing? Where to reach you?
Yep. So my name is Dakota. You can reach me over at Dakota of Earth on YouTube, Dakota Wint on Instagram, Twitter, and all that good stuff. And life's a mystery. Life's a garden, baby. Dig it.
Enjoy the unfolding. And hopefully the next time we speak to each other will be with Tommy Chong.
With Tommy Chong.
Yeah, he definitely.
Oh, and if you want to watch another podcast with me, Tom, and Tommy Chong, you can go over to my YouTube and it's on there. A Place for Humans podcast with your mate Tom and Tommy Chong.
Beautiful.
The Psychedelic Toms.
All right, guys. Catch you later. Have a good one.
Peace.